Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer, baby, let's go! Yeah!
Well, what's up, everybody? Good to see ya, human beings. It is I, Papa Jaffe. Let's get this going. Hang on. Yeah, Wise Master Jedi. Oh my God! Welcome to Friday. Does it feel like Friday? It does. Can't even hear that, can you? What's up, fellas? Welcome to the show. Welcome to Gabbin' Games for Friday, November 15th. It is good to see you. It is good to have you here. I want to tell you something. I love it when you guys show up to spend time with me.
No offense, David Jaffe, but that's bullshit.
Okay, maybe a little bit of bullshit, but the point is, welcome to Friday. Whoo, Lord have mercy. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Scotty Woodford's been a member for 32 months. He says, Jaffe, happy Friday, sir. Waiting on my food, and you keep up the great work. Go see Red One. Great Christmas movie. Thank you, buddy. I just burped a Butterfinger. You goddamn right. You know, listen, I saw that got terrible reviews, though, but that doesn't mean shit anymore. And I also saw that it wasn't performing very well, but you know, what's funny about that movie and the way movies work these days, it'll probably be streaming on Christmas by Christmas time. So, but, okay, so Bulbo liked it too. He says, Red One was incredibly fun movie. Me and my grandma went, we loved it. Interesting. Okay, that's good to hear. Let's check real quick, because I've been seeing some terrible online word of mouth, but you know how people are. Red One, let me go to Rotten Tomatoes and see what the audience score is. So if you currently look, it's a 32 from critics, but we don't really have any. Let's see if any audience members have reviewed it yet. Wow, they don't like it. This movie was so bad, I cannot begin to describe it. Although some people say it's an awesome family movie, so cute, loved it. Awesome movie, wildly entertaining, good movie to take the kids to. Thought it was a lot of fun. All right, cool. All right. I'll give it a look. I'm not going to go out to the theater and see it. Probably the next thing I'll see at the theater is Wicked, maybe, for, you know, I'll go with family on Thanksgiving. But it's all about the Tyson today, baby. It's all about the Tyson Paul fight coming up. And if you're a member of the Discord, we'll be diving deep into that little combat scenario as well as some of the other combat scenarios coming before. So the fight officially starts, or the show officially starts over on Netflix at I think 5, but those are all the undercards. So I think we'll probably be really, you know, wink, talking, not watching, wink, the fight over there only for members at any tier, and mods will start probably 20 minutes after the show ends. So it'll be you know, it'll be one of those things where, you know, we'll probably catch the three, some of the, there's like 5 or 6 undercards. We'll catch the 3. The last couple undercards, including the women's bout, apparently supposed to be a real deal. There's obviously the rumors about how much of a fight the Paul Tyson thing really is versus kind of a stage thing. Who knows? But apparently the women fight that comes right before the Tyson fight is supposed to be just the real deal and brutal. So I'm looking forward to it. That'll be happening pretty soon. So if you're interested in that kind of malarkey and you are a member or you're considering a membership, now's the time. As we head into the holiday season, we always do lots of stuff around the holidays, Thanksgiving specials, Christmas stuff, pot and popcorn. Probably going to watch Thanksgiving again this month before Thanksgiving hits. Because, you know, it's a funny fucking movie. Gobble, gobble, motherfucker. Jaffe, have you watched a video from Andy Pants Gaming, says Crytek Fried Chicken Emporium. He talks about woke gaming and why masculinity is fading away from video games. No, I really haven't. I don't care. I don't care. The last thing I need is one more internet crybaby telling me about masculinity. Let's put it this way. Crytek's Fried Chicken Emporium, which sounds delightful as a restaurant. The most masculine, well, let me reverse it. The least masculine thing you can do is look to others to tell you what masculinity is. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what some internet rambling fuck toy thinks about masculinity. Who the fuck do I care what this guy thinks? You know what? I probably would not appear on the most masculine list in the universe. But let me tell you what I've done. I have contributed meaningfully to millions of people's entertainment. I have co-raised 2 amazing, wonderful children. I have co-owned and run 2 companies. I have managed to be able to do pretty much whatever the fuck I want on this planet since I was probably 10 years old. So you know what? I don't need to listen to no motherfucking Andy Pant motherfucker telling me about, man, just, if you're a guy or whatever, stop letting people tell you what you're supposed to be. You idiots. Come on, man. Is this what we're talking about? Is this what we're doing today? Marquis says true masculinity is being comfortable in your own skin and not giving a fuck. You goddamn right. Goddamn right. Ludo says, Jaffe, did you hear that Tyson sent his sparring partner to the hospital? I didn't hear that. I heard that he did give his sparring partner a black eye, but I assume that's sort of comes with the territory. That's just kind of part of it. Anyway, whatever. So I don't really I really don't, fried chicken guy. I don't give a fuck. Just don't watch that. Seriously, watch whatever the fuck you want, man. But be careful, man. Be careful of all these people out there telling you what you're supposed to be and what a man's supposed to be and what women want and don't want. And bleh. Shut up. God. And let me ask you another question about that. All of these guys out there that are trying to sell you, this is what women want. You know, maybe some of y'all never been in a relationship that lasted more than 5 weeks. I don't fucking know. But one of the worst things in the world is to be in a relationship, whether it's romantic or friendship or business, and you have to pretend you're somebody that you're not. Oh my God, it's miserable. The fuck do you want to get involved with that shit for? They like you, they don't. They love you, they don't. They want to work with you, they don't. Stop. God of War is a masculine game, says Fried Chicken. I don't care. God of War is a game I believed in, that I had in my gut and my soul. That's all I cared about. I don't give a fuck. All right, let's move on to games, though. Well, this is kind of about games. I have allergies. My dog's been jumping around. My wife thinks it's hot when I rip open a Pokemon pack, says Zack. That's the kind of woman you got to find, then, if that's what you like doing. Seriously. You know, that's wonderful. I'm sure there are women out there that, you know, are totally vibing like that. I mean, we'll never be we'll never be as cool as Phil Spencer, but we will never create that sort of excitement when we walk into a room. But that said, you know, when I vomited in the bed, I just laid in it. I'm not even fucking with you. It's true. I did that before. Okay, let's move forward, fellas. Welcome to the show. And can a relationship work well without intercourse maybe once a month, says Bulbo? It depends on the kind of relationship. There's a lot of people I worked with at Sony that we never had intercourse at all, and things worked out pretty well. You need to be more specific, sir. PJ says, will you sign my Twisted Metal Black copy? I won't. Not because I'm a dick and not because I don't want to sign it, but because I have ADD. The last time somebody sent me stuff and paid for postage, it literally took me about 8 months to send it back. And they're like, we don't care. We're fine with that. I care. Hello, Warp Die. So if I run into you out in the big bad world, sure, happy to sign whatever you want. But I just don't have the mental bandwidth to handle that. You Are a Fake says, you ain't had a hit game in decades. No, I haven't. I know. Isn't that crazy? Masculinity requires at least 5.75 inches, says Da Vinci. Well, then I'm good. Okay. Okay. What did Kevin say? Kevin says, did I discuss what already, Kevin? I'm sorry. I missed your first chat. Let us move forward. My delightful delinquents. Okay. I do want to tell you one thing. I don't know how to deal with this. I have, there's a game that I played the demo for, and I'm not going to tell you the name of it because I don't want to fuck you up with this, but I don't know the way to communicate with people when it comes to games that are really shocking and surprising and not what you expect. Because if you tell somebody to go in blind, then they can't go in blind because they'll know that, you know, there's a twist coming, right? So how do you recommend something to someone, which one of the main reasons you're recommending it is because it's really twisty and weird and you don't see it coming. I don't know. So part of me is like, I guess I'm not going to tell you about this demo I played recently. But I hope somebody gets it on your radar. Let's just say that, because it was really fucking cool. Maybe if you want to know what it is, and it doesn't bother you to know that it's going to twist and turn, maybe in a couple of minutes, I'll, let me know, or maybe in the Discord, I'll let you know or something, because I don't want to ruin it for people if you happen to happen upon it. Brett Moore says, make a damn stream curated page. I have a stream community, a curated community over there. And, I have to review a few more games before I can actually make a list, but I'm going to start being more active with members over on Steam, because honestly, that's where I'm spending, most of my gaming time these days. So I want to build that up over there. Feminine Gaming says fried chicken is what I consider a sexy hot girl as a protagonist, and is less bossy and has a good personality. Cool. I don't really care. I mean, that's great. I love old school Lara Croft. I love Samus, whatever the fuck, Samus. She doesn't really have much of a personality or much of a, she's just a blonde girl, there's not much to her really, as far as I know, but, I do like Lara Croft quite a bit, but she's not my favorite. My video game crush would be, oh my God, I haven't thought about this in a while. I'm trying to think. I've been playing a lot of video games that are character creator recently. So I'm trying to think, what's the last video game character I've played that's like a defined character. Obviously Tifa Lockhart, everybody, would agree, just gorgeous, beautiful. Tanya from Command and Conquer. Yeah, no. I don't know. I have to think about that. I don't know. No. Okay. Yeah. Eric Lennon says the Stellar Blade chick. No, not the Stellar Blade chick, but her buddy who gets killed at the end, whatever her name is. Yeah, there you go. 100%. 100%. Do you think Drawn to Death was released before its time? I reckon it would have been a hit if released today. I don't know. I really don't. Thank you for the question, Stephen. I have no idea. I think if it would have been on PC, maybe, but that whole industry right now is just, it's so impossible to know what's going to hit and what's not going to hit. So, but anyway, yeah, I'll, if you want to know what this game is that really made me go, whoa, that's fucking cool, man. I will pop this up. Hit me up on Discord. I'll let you know you should check out the demo. It's really, really neat, but I don't want to ruin it for you. Let me tell you what's on the show today, and then we'll get rolling. We're going to talk a little bit about the Xbox branding that a lot of people seem upset about. I don't know why. We're going to talk a little bit about some Sony Horizon news. We are going to talk about some Game of the Year stuff going down. We're going to talk about a crazy study that talks about men and women when it comes to playing with women online. There's some Bloodborne, not news, but Bloodborne discussion to be had about something this guy did a mod for. Weird fucking Google AI chatbot response, which we got to talk about. Some great Nintendo news and a couple other things. So it should be a good show. Settle in as we get rolling. I want to say thank you so much to Septic Sauce, our good buddy Septic Sauce. By the way, I'm trying to put a crew together to watch the Keeley show this year. Septic, if you want to stream live with us like you did last year, let me know. But Septic has gifted 5 memberships to this very show. That's what I talk about, masculinity. That's a man right there. That's a man right there. I'm not into the mail, but if I was into the mail, Septic, I'd be knocking on your door at 3 a.m. with those cards like the guy has in Love Actually. There you go. How masculine can you get? I'm quoting, or talking about Love Actually. Love that movie. Started watching it last night. Watched it every year. Fuck you. Septic Sauce, thank you for 5 memberships. Who gets them? Kevin Sal. Marquise Adonis. Sarog... Sarin Grant. BT Maverick 707 and Dan Rath. Thank you, Septic. Appreciate it, buddy. Very, very generous of you and very kind. Very nice, man. Okay. Oh my God, get your head out of your ass. fried chicken. Gears of War is also a masculine game. Who cares? What is your obsession with this? You need to call into the show and let me talk some sense into you. The fuck's the matter? Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Go live your life. Stop worrying about it. Stop thinking about what is bro-ish and what is masculine and what is feminine. Go have an adventure. You're only here for a limited time. Trust me, I'm probably older than you are. I'm 53. It goes fast, man. Shut up. Shut up and go have some fucking fun. Masculine Joe Rogan says this. Vivek Ramaswamy says this. Shut up. Is Elvis masculine or feminine? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't care. All right. Let's talk about some video games, my friends. Oh, good. Septic, you're in. Excellent. We'll be happy to have you. Let's talk about Horizon very, very briefly. Horizon Zero Dawn. The rumor today is that Horizon Online is going to be coming out the first half of 2025. Now, I don't give a shit about Horizon usually. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't care about it. I think it's disgusting how Herman Holst has taken over the studio and shoved this fucking franchise that no one really loves. You can tell me you love it, fine. You're in the minority. Most of us don't give a fuck about it. But the world is excellent. The combat is excellent. The graphics are excellent. And I'm not talking... Yeah, Michael says Horizon yawn, zero yawn, tons of yawn. Absolutely. I'm not talking about the Lego game. I'm talking about the online game, which is apparently, the rumor is it's on track for coming out this coming first half of 2025. This excites me because it is, now this, I'm going to show you some footage right now. This is from 2020, the 2020 leak, right? So what you're looking at here is exceptionally early. Okay. So this is not to be judged. This was the leak. But it's clear that they're making either Monster Hunter meets Horizon or Ark Survival meets Horizon, which I think is absolutely fantastic. I think this world deserves to be explored more. I think the mech dinosaurs are cool. The world is cool. It just has a bunch of shitty writing in the mainline series. So I think we're going to get with this game actually Horizon at its best. I don't know if it's better for these guys to take on Monster Hunter or Ark Survival. I think Sony, with their understandable, semi-pivot to service-based games, obviously not all their games are that, could use either. My guess would be, if you look at Ark seems to have a longer tail, but I don't care. This actually, strangely enough, I'm excited for the first time. I mean, I was excited for Lego, then the reviews came out and it got kind of shit on. But yeah, Gavin Howell says Herman has an unhealthy obsession with Horizon. You goddamn right he does. It's obnoxious. But this I actually think will be, this starts to make some sense. It's like a good mix of mechanic and franchise, I think. This comes out near Monster Hunter. I'm going to play Monster Hunter over this crap, says Wayne. You haven't seen it yet. This is a 4-year-old leak. This is 4 years ago. Give them a chance, man. They're clearly a talented studio. So anyway, I was excited to hear that. That's news that's kind of, it's a rumor. It's a rumor because they basically put out an ad looking for, I think, like a senior QA guy or a lead QA guy or whatever. And so the people who were reporting it did the math and said, hey, it sounds like this is going to be coming out in the next 8 months. But Monster Hunter Wilds, though, I played the beta for it, and I'm excited. I'm super excited for it. I don't know if I'm going to play it, but the beta was a lot of fun. I was thinking about this today. I have so many games that I am halfway through, or a little more or a little less. And part of me is like, other than Indiana Jones and Stalker, I kind of want to just hibernate until March, right? And I don't want to buy... I don't want to buy any more games. I don't want to get any new games. I just want to try to finish a bunch of the games. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off because I get so excited when something new comes out. But, you know, I have Zelda. I have Elden Ring. I have Call of Duty, the goddamn campaign. I'm over halfway through Unicorn Overlord, and I'm going to have to start that fucking thing again because I don't remember how to play it. And but I really enjoyed a lot of these games. You don't buy games though, so do you? Yeah, I buy all my games. I rarely get free games. Every now and then I'll get free games. But I rarely get them for free. But I want to finish these. Prince Green says you can do it. You can do it. I had a 100 game backlog. Now I'm down to 15. Yeah, there's at least like 7 I want to finish. Tactical Breach Wizards. You goddamn right, Zack. That's right. That's right. I hear it's fucking amazing, that game. You know, Black Myth Wukong, right? There's so much to play. Anyway, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to stick to my guns because I know February's already looking like a stack month, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. Listen to this. Speaking of February, Avowed announced that they're coming out with a premium edition. You'll get to play it. I think it's 5 days early. It is. So for $90, you'll get a premium edition that has like a skin pack, digital art book, blah, blah, blah. I am already getting it, quote, for free because of Game Pass. But if I pay, I don't know if I have to pay the whole 90. Like if you have Game Pass, sometimes you only have to pay 35. But I will probably do this, mostly because I stream and I'm going to want to be able to talk about it as soon as possible. But I do wonder about this. I mean, this is the first game I've seen that's done early access of a completed game. Usually it's 2 days or 3 days. Now they're going to 5 days. And I wonder about this. It's like, at this point, do they start getting like, I know a lot of you guys are like, fuck it, I'm not doing it. It's $100, no way. But let's say they said, okay, you know what? It's not going to be 5 days. It's going to be a month now. Right? So let's say the next big game you're excited about is going to be a early access, and if you pay $100, you get it a month in advance. And that just starts to become the norm for these things. So they create another kind of waterfall tier. I don't know. I kind of would be okay with it. I kind of would be okay with that. I mean, I don't know if I would buy all of them, of course, but if you're in the business and you're trying to make more money, I mean, what's the problem with that? I know it would piss off gamers, but you know, you're going to buy it. You're not going to buy it. The only thing it can hurt is if the game, you know, if the hype, let's say Avowed comes out and Avowed is a Outer Worlds versus a big, you know, great RPG hit, which Outer Worlds was a hit, or Wilds, whatever it's called. Was a hit, but it wasn't like a culturally defining thing that everybody was obsessing and talking about and blah, blah, blah. If it's just like a solid, you know, 79, 81, 82 on Metacritic, I think by the time the month expires, you will have lost a lot of people who would have bought it day one. So I'm assuming they have to kind of balance that. But I kind of like this early access thing. I mean, the more bites of the apple these guys can take, the better. It's hard to make money in this business these days. You guys in the chat are saying you think this is going to bomb. Yeah, maybe. I don't think so. I think everything that these guys have said about Avowed is music to my old RPG loving ears, right? I don't need a lot of the graphic fidelity that you guys need. I don't demand that. I would rather have, and again, I don't know if they're going to pull it off, but I would rather have the massive choices that affect narrative and affect character. And when I can go off the beaten path and there's meaningful, meaty sections of the game to find that if you don't go off the beaten path, you wouldn't even know they're there. I'm in. I'm totally in with that. So, and again, you have to make choices like that. The more content your game has to allow for player choices to matter, the less money you're going to have to spend on fidelity, because, you know, it's not easy, but it's less expensive to make a game where you know where everyone is going to go in the same direction and see the same stuff. It's one of the reasons that God of War 1 looks so good and 2 and 3 look so good, because we didn't let you control the camera. It's like, we know you're going to be looking over there, so we can put all of our resources into over there. But I am looking forward to this. Brad Skaggs says it's not about graphics. This will flop because it looks generic as fuck. Well, I mean, it might. It looks like swords and sorcery, right? But you get to make your own character. You get to make a lot of choices. And if you're not into that, sure. And again, I don't care if it'll flop. That's become almost kind of this talking point where people are like, Dragon Age isn't selling. Yeah. I'm like, fuck you. Who gives a shit? Dragon Age is fun. The new Dragon Age is a fun fucking game. I don't care if it's sold. What's the matter with you? This kind of goes back into that masculinity camp. I want to give you guys a warning. I want to give you guys a warning. I'd love to get like a sex worker who's a gamer. It's true. If you get out of this mindset, man. Oh no, this is officially masculine. I can do this, I can't do that. This is officially a flop. This is officially not a flop. Just shut up. What happened to just... Is it the kids today? Is it the schooling today? What happened where you could just find shit you liked and be okay with it? Why do you need the pat on the head? Is this that every kid gets a trophy generation manifesting in video games? It's like, why do you care if Avowed comes out and flops? And I'm not saying like, oh, well, Jeff, you see, I'm really into the business aspect. Okay, I get that. If you're Michael Pachter or you really want to be a video game executive or what, okay, I understand. I can appreciate that. But why do you care if a game fucking flops or is a hit? What's the matter with you? You got the rocks in your head there? Bulbo says, I'm enjoying Dragon Age. It's the best one I've ever played. You get further down the line, the game, it's amazing the amount of content and dragons you fight. I haven't encountered a dragon yet, but I've played about 14 hours of it, and I really, really, really like it. It's really good. Brett Moore says, I feel like everyone is negative online. It's more popular to hate. Well, I don't really care about being popular, clearly, so that's fine. But I will tell you, and I'm not trying to preach blue sky. I'm still on Twitter. I'll be on Twitter as long as my audience is there so I can let people know, hey, I'm here and there's a show going live or whatever. But I went over to Blue Sky recently and started posting there more. And it really is... At least for now, there's nothing magic about it. It's just that it's not corrupted by a variety of things. Maybe it'll get acquired and they'll have to make more money and just like all this shit goes. But I will tell you that if you long for the old days of Twitter, it's cool, man. Yeah, it's Jack Dorsey's thing, the guy who was one of the main creators of Twitter. It feels like usually everybody's like, oh, I'm doom scrolling on Twitter. This feels like yesterday I got up and I was scrolling for about 45 minutes and I realized I can't do this. I have shit to do. But it was so pleasant just to sort of see people over there. It wasn't that they were being just gushingly positive, but they were not posting about the same old, it wasn't about let's fight. It was about, hey, I saw this cool movie or look at my comic I made or this or that or the other. It was a nice change of pace, man. What do they say? Garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you surround yourself with becomes the life you're living. So if you're feeling like the internet's kind of got you down, check out Blue Sky. It's not bad. Okay. Let me get some of these. I appreciate these. What is it? Brad Glasgow said, beat Dragon Age the other day. It is not a good game. According to you, you forgot the according to me. If you played 14 hours, you've seen everything the game has to offer. Right now, I'm loving it. I think it's excellent. So even if I stop playing it, today, I'd still say it was great. I enjoyed it. One of my favorite things I've played. Now, there is a new game gunning for my game of the year that I will tell you. I haven't finished it. It's only a 3-hour game. I've played about 80% of it. But it is... I'll be showing it on the next Gavin and Games. It's really fucking cool. I'm as much as I love it, I'm struggling with the name. I think it's called While We Wait Here, and it's a just go look it up. I think it's called While We Wait Here, and While we wait here. And it is just delightfully good. It is delightfully good. So that is actually suddenly has its sights set on my game of the year at the moment, but we'll see. I got a lot more to finish and play. Jaffe, thank you, Gavin House, for the super chat, buddy. You know I appreciate that. He says, Jaffe, you enrage me like no other. You can't sit there and defend the writing and dialogue of Dragon Age is good or what fans want. Makes zero sense in the setting. I can do whatever I want. Thank you for the money, but it's good. It's fun. I enjoy it. Here's a question, Gavin. What do you need it to do for you? Like, I get that if you played Dragon Age and you were like, I was expecting a dark, somber Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings kind of experience. Yeah, that's not what it is. And I get that if you played Inquisition, it's very different. And I get that if you had been led to believe by the marketing it was a dark, somber, very mature, serious kind of thing, you'd go, what the fuck? I get it. That's a total fair criticism of it. But since I don't have any of those issues with it, I'm happy with it being what it feels like, which is slightly above a CW young adult novel, sword and sorcery novel. And it has bits where it definitely gets more mature than that, but so far it's great. It's really fun. I don't know what you needed it to be for you, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know. It's like a big high adventure, kind of swashbuckling sort of romp is the way I describe it. I really like that about it. That it's not like Bard's Tale, like it's wink, wink, nudge, nudge, jokey, but it feels more like an 80s movie, where, or Dungeons and Dragons, the Dungeons and Dragons movie. It's like, yeah, the stakes were real. People could die. It wasn't a comedy, but it also didn't have a stick up its ass about the world is on the precipice of death. Everything is serious. It was just like a little breath of fresh air. I enjoyed it for that, but I appreciate you didn't. But I'm more masculine than you, Kevin. Did you hear what I told him?
That's a huge bitch.
Oh, I got lightheaded when I did that comedy bit. Oh, God. Listen to me. I have to tell you something. BT Maverick steps up to the plate. He says, look, more people need to drink in the juice. Come on, it's so nasty, BT. That is Jaffe memberships. Thank you, buddy. He has gifted 5 memberships. The recipients, Bill, Gavin House, Matt, Kevin Sow, and Prince Green. And BD has also gotten one. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Maverick, for that. I appreciate that. It's very generous, very kind, very courteous. Listen to this. Ludo says, thank you for the super chat, Ludo. He says, I've noticed many players are disoriented in their taste and what they expect nowadays or what a video game is supposed to be or not. Yeah, man. I don't know. I think, I don't know. Here's what I'll say. I don't know how much of us that are engaged in video game conversation on the internet are a meaningful group that affects this, or we're just in a little bubble, all of us. But I can tell you that it's a great time to be playing video games right now, man. There's some really fucking good shit out in the world. The new Black Ops season just dropped. Season 1 just dropped. There's a great new mode in there that's kind of like the gold mode. What is that fucking thing called? A lot of games have it, but it's really fun in Black Ops. Star Wars Outlaws, Kevin, is fun. Dragon Age is fun. Leave people alone. Have a good time. The world's falling apart. Let's have a party as we go out. Jaffe says, Gavin, I'll take you at your word. But you enjoyed the modern audience dialogue and the hypersensitive and cozy dialogue of it. Well, don't tell me what I enjoyed, bitch. Thank you for the super chat, Gavin. Here's what I'll tell you about the modern audience dialogue that I think you're talking about, the progressive stuff. That really isn't there if you're not looking for it. I mean, yes, your character you can romance same-sex people if you want. You can also build a character who is a trans character or a non-binary character. But if you don't build those things, my understanding is there's one character that joins your team or can join your team that is an open trans individual. Other than that, there's nothing in there. you know, Brad says, Jaffe, come on, there are multiple quests about that one character's pronouns. I haven't gotten to them yet. I haven't gotten to that yet. So maybe, you know, if you have to go down that road, but again, so what? You have a character. I mean, again, here's what I'll say to you, Gavin, and here's what I'll say to you, Brad. I haven't gotten to that character yet. So I don't know, what the amount of it is. Clearly I don't have a problem with it, but let me get to that and then I'll tell you. But you know, I so far though, I haven't encountered it. And so I'm just playing it like, you know, any other game. And I'm like, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Okay. Godslayer says, honestly, I've had enough of people asking for pointless romance in games. It's a waste of fucking time. I mean, it is a weird thing, right? Because it's not like it's not like you're going to get some kind of Pornhub experience when these characters hook up. It is still, though, kind of fun to do, to kind of see who you can get to hook up with each other. So I think the chat needs to pull a barf, says Kaio. I understand that reference. Marquis says it's optional. So there you go. I don't care, Darth Nugget. I don't care, man. Why do you care so much? Shut up. He says even trans people don't like the non-binaries. Don't we? Seriously, guys, there are people out there that are multi-billionaires. There are people out there that lie and cheat and steal and get away with it. Don't we want to make them the bad guys? Just don't play it if you don't like it. I don't give a shit, but come on, man. You guys have been bamboozled and hoodwinked and Plymouth Rocked. Come on. Leave it alone. Let's move forward. Listen to this, though, regardless of what you think. I've not been really following this free play days over on the Xbox. I don't want to talk about the shit anymore, guys. I just stop. Just shut up. Can we not talk about that? Don't you like the video games? Do we have to keep talking about the cultural war issues? What's the matter with you? What's it gonna take for you to just get it out of your system and go, you know what? That's for me. That's not for me. That's not for me. That's for me. Just shut up. Sorry, but it's annoying. We're here to talk about, we don't have to talk about video games. Yesterday, I did an entire show about whatever you guys wanted, which was a lot of fun. But fuck, man. Like, let me give you an example, this story here. And maybe that's what it is. I don't care, Gavin. Gavin says, Jaffe, I love you, but I won't sit and accept activism and propaganda. Yeah, you will. Everything is activism and propaganda. What you won't accept is activism and propaganda that you don't like, which is fine. But I'm not here to propaganda. The only propaganda I'm here to offer is, hey, let's talk about some cool video games. Free play days is interesting to me. So I've been an Xbox Pass Ultimate subscriber for a while, and I enjoy it, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't realize, at least, I don't know how often they do this, but this weekend, you can play these games for free if you are an Xbox Standard Core or Ultimate member. And I know that Sony has the trial periods, which is great, but those tend to be like you have to wait 90 days. They have to be above a certain budget threshold. But just this weekend, if you're interested, college football EA 2025 is awesome. It's excellent. It's a great deal of fun. Serial Cleaners is really fucking cool. It's not for everyone, but it's about these people who literally, it's like a stealth, weird action game with these multiple character types that you change between, and you're cleaning up the murder scenes of really bad murders, but it's also action. It's very, very, very cool. And so if you're, think about it, I might look at Dustborn, because I'll probably make fun of it. There's nothing about Dustborn. If we do talk one more moment about the culture wars, it is obnoxiously woke. But I do think it's potentially interesting in that I got to see what all the fuss is about. You get a 2-hour trial this weekend for that too. So, and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. So I want to play that new pirate game. So from that. So yeah, maybe I will stream Dustborn. I may hate it. I'm curious about it because I saw the opening song and it's incredibly stupid. It's incredibly stupid. Jot says, Jaffe, I'm thinking back to the episode of Sacred Symbols Plus you did with the 2 sex workers. How much did the cam-to-cam session run? You're just curious, asking for a friend. What was it? It cost me about $20, $15-$20 to do that. If you don't know what he's talking about, I when I was doing Sacred Symbols, I went onto a cam site and I had some sex workers answer some of the questions at this point. I'm sorry, I'm reading and talking. Okay. But anyway, yeah, so check it out. But yeah, it was $20. It was $20. And it's really strange. It's a very strange experience, but I've done it a couple of times making videos for the show. Okay, let's move on. But I wanted to bring up free play days just because it's kind of hitting me as a new thing. I don't think every weekend you get 5 new games to peruse, do you? Is this like once a month or do they do it every single weekend? I have no idea. Okay, let's move forward. Let's talk about this Xbox ad. I'm not going to play it because there's licensed music, but Xbox continues to push its... People are really upset about this. People don't like this ad. And I'll tell you a couple things. As a fan of Xbox this generation, I'm quite happy that they're finally starting to advertise. I don't know where this campaign is going to run. I don't know if it's going to run in major, places, football games, the Macy's Thanksgiving parade. I think Xbox should probably get a fucking Game Pass float and all this shit. They got to push this thing. But regardless, though, a lot of people hate this campaign, and I'm struggling to see why. I think, and some of you in the chat have already brought it up like it's a bad thing, and I'm just kind of going, what's the problem with this campaign? This is them basically saying, look, everything's an Xbox. It's not, but basically you can play it on your phone, you can play it on your TV, you can play it on an Xbox, you can play it on a PC, you can play it on a tablet. That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. Ultimately that's the future anyway, but I understand that that's not the future right now for a lot of you, and that's fine. But, I was talking to my brother the other day, and he's, maybe, probably won't, but he was kind of possibly dancing around the idea of picking up a console. And I said, well, he loves Indiana Jones and stuff. I says, just wait, get Game Pass for a month and stream it to your TV on a Fire Stick that'll cost you $15 if you don't already have it. And if you like it, then, there's a bunch of other things you can stream. And then if you really like it, then go buy a console. Because he hadn't had a console since PS3 days or whatever. But people are just really, they don't like this. Now, you guys in the chat, some of you were saying, oh, it's just confusing. I don't know maybe it's confusing because maybe it's meant to be like, wait, what do you mean all of that's an Xbox? And then it's going to lead you to go, oh, I see. Like maybe it's confusing because they haven't gone out of their way in this particular ad to say what we mean by this is that. And that might be a fair criticism of it. I haven't really diving deep into the campaign itself and where it leads after you see the first ad or whatever. But Kevin says, I don't think saying all these things are Xbox is good messaging. Okay, but I understand that, but can you articulate why? Bulbo says what they posted is just pure cringe. It's probably not for you though. Like, I don't know how old you are, Bulbo Baggins. Bilbo Baggins. I don't know how old you are, but, there's a point when you hit about 30, 35 where the vast majority of television commercials seem cringe. Because you're like, you have to continually remind yourself that these are not for you. These commercials are not for you. They're for 12-year-olds, 15-year-olds, whatever. Eric says everybody's feeling salty because the old traditional gaming is dying. Why? I thought we, of all hobbyists, though, would be the ones to be smart enough to realize, that's what old people do. That's what old people do. They get attached Let's not be that. Let's be those guys and girls who live to like 95, 100, and we're still up with the new technology. You don't want to be those people. You don't want to be those fucking people that's like, it's not the way it used to be. No, it's not the way it used to be. Isn't that fun? It's called change. It's called progress. I thought we were supposed to like that as gamers. Come on now. Kevin says it's trying to be really cool, hip, but it comes off as kind of cringe. The question is, what at your advanced age, Kevin, is actually cool and hip, right? I mean, that's the thing. The stuff that I thought was probably cool and hip when I was 20, 30-year-olds were probably going, that's super fucking cringe. Because it wasn't made for them, right? I remember when Microsoft put out that first ad for their Surface or whatever with the Macklemore song before Macklemore blew up and then became a joke to a lot of people. And I was like, oh, this is so dumb. But people dig it. Not having a fucking bento box on a poster saying this isn't an Xbox. I mean, okay. Again, you know what? Here's what I'll tell you. As much as I can tell you the ad is not made for you, Kevin, the ad is also not made for me, which means I can't really tell you if it's cringe or not, right? I can't tell you if the ad campaign for the targeted audience, if they're like, oh, that's cool, that's hip, that's clever, or if they think, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. So you're telling us to support, that you support basically what they basically released to the public so far. You like the way what I'm saying is, Bulbo, Xbox has done historically a terrible job at advertising their Game Pass system. And it's a wonderful system. And this Christmas, they are racing into this Christmas with probably the biggest chance they'll ever have to prove if Game Pass is actually viable. And I want to see it succeed for a lot of reasons. And we're already kind of seeing, even if you go over to, let's take South of Midnight. We're not gonna, we as a member group the other day watched the documentary, the 30-minute documentary. And I thought it was really good. And most people who were watching it with us said, hey, that looks pretty good. We were all kind of like, I don't know if the gameplay is going to blow people's minds, but it looks at worst serviceable as just kind of a traditional third-person action game. It's got a great creative director, the guy who directed creatively SOCOM 1 and 2, along with other things that didn't come out, but I got to play. He's the real deal, a guy named David Sears. And it also genuinely has a really neat original take. But one of the things that I think we all were in agreement on was this thing is probably going to be a struggle to sell for somebody at $60, which is why it being on Game Pass and people going, hey, I would have never bought this, but this thing is fucking cool. And then the sequel comes out or the DLC comes out and they'll totally line up if it actually delivers, right? So I want to see Game Pass succeed. I'd love to see PS Plus succeed, which I think it is, but I think it's a very different kind of, it's kind of a tangential support structure for Sony, whereas these guys are all in on this. And I think to go all in on this means you're putting yourself in a position that the kind of things you greenlight and the kind of behavior audiences have can actually work to improve the art form. Here's another example. This is an article from Jez Corden talking about their upcoming holiday. And again, he's like, look, if they can't make it this holiday, something's going on. Here's what he says. He says, last week's launch of Call of Duty was the biggest Call of Duty release ever, setting a record for day one players as well as Game Pass subs on ads. Subscriber, God damn it, Jaffe. Day one players as well as Game Pass subscriber ads, meaning additions on launch day. Microsoft, and then they're delivering Stalker 2, which everyone who's played says, hey, this is the real deal. Indiana Jones mostly has great previews. A couple people have said this is kind of a basic stealth game. Hard to say where that's going to go, but certainly it unless it's like amazing, it's probably not going to sell well, but it might keep people subscribed to Game Pass. And then obviously Call of Duty with all of the season 1 stuff. They're putting out more content this season than they ever have, or this year for these seasons that they ever have to keep people subscribing. If they can't pull this off, then it's just not a doable thing. And a lot of you guys from the beginning have said it's not a doable thing. I don't agree with you, but we will see. But listen to this. This was interesting. The game director at Treyarch of Call of Duty fame says, what we have seen is that being on Game Pass allowed people that might have been on the fence or might have had some of that friction, might have been like, I haven't played Call of Duty in a while, to actually come back and try the game. That's the magic of something like this, is that it's like, that friction, that barrier of entry, it doesn't just apply to the cost, which creates the friction. It's like, I don't want to spend $20. I don't want to spend even $10. I don't know if that's for me. I don't know what that is. Hey, it's on the subservice. Boom. Suddenly you might get South of Midnight being a hit. Let's imagine. I'm not saying it's going to be a hit. It may be disastrous. Like Happy Few, the last game from that company. Indie may not work. I'm not selling you on this thing. I'm not here trying to tell you it's going to be great. I don't fucking know. But I'm saying, imagine if Indiana Jones is GoldenEye for Indiana Jones was for James Bond. Suddenly, Indiana Jones coming off 2 terrible movies that didn't deliver, the last one financially and creatively, suddenly Indiana Jones might be relevant again to a bunch of people who never gave a shit about Indiana Jones, which is most people under 30. So I'm in on this. I want to see this work. And so if they're going to put out ads like, this is a bento box, this is not an Xbox, I don't give a shit. I'd like to think it's going to get people who aren't us. We already know what Xbox is. We already know you can play it on your phone. You can play Game Pass on your TV, but your average person doesn't even know what it is. How many times have I done this show where people have said, Jaffe, I got in my car, my Uber, and the guy was talking about video games, and he says he's a gamer, and he doesn't even know what Game Pass is. That's the anecdotal evidence of them having so far done a shitty job moving the ball down the field when it comes to bringing people awareness to this particular service. So I am excited. Listen to this. Gavin House drops super chat. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. He says, look, Jaffe. What, Gavin? Gavin's calling.
Everybody hates you, and I'm glad your husband died. He probably killed himself.
What, Gavin? Gavin says Xbox gamers were console gamers. Streaming has yet to take off. People aren't as interested. It's not hard to decipher. Shut up, Gavin. Shut up. It's not... Just have some vision, man. People are going to be interested when it works for them, okay? When you can go turn on your telly, fish and chips, governor. When you can turn on your telly and you can be like, oh, I clicked this button and now I'm playing Call of Duty and I didn't really have to do anything. And I don't have to even sign up because the first 3 hours are free. People will be very interested. What they're not interested in is what they don't understand, or what if they have bad streaming or whatever. But it's not even, we're not even talking about streaming. You can have it on your laptop, right? You can have it on Call of Duty mobile, which is downloadable, is made, I think it's had over 1 billion downloads. So it doesn't even have to be streaming. It can be, but it can just be, oh, I have this laptop, but I don't really know anything about consoles. Don't worry about it. Like my brother has a PC or a computer. He doesn't need to go buy a console. Just get on the website for for Microsoft Game Pass and download the fucking thing. Cost you $20, man. That's all I'm saying, Gavin. You old knucklehead. Listen to this. We got Jeremy Johnson. He says, I appreciate the super chat, Jeremy. Thank you, buddy. He says, you and Timmy Kane's YouTube channel is the reason I have a game dev job now. Just paying it forward. Thanks for the encouragement. Also, I'm glad politically you're super based. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Okay, Tim Kane is the Fallout guy. He's got a very exciting channel here on the YouTube. Talks a lot about game design and creative decisions they made on those series and various series. I appreciate that. I'm curious, Jeremy, and hopefully you won't pay for it because you can just type it and I'll keep an eye out or somebody can tell me. But thank you for your super chat. But I'm curious about what area of game development you've gone into, because I look at game development these days and I just say, my God, man. If I wanted to make video games, there's no way, if I knew what I know, and I know what you should know, because we all, watch the same media, I wouldn't go work for a major company unless I was a coder and I wanted to play with the tech. Okay, I get that. I had a coder from PlayStation call in recently, and I asked him this question. I said, why would you work in this business? You're clearly a really smart guy. You could go make your own shit, own it, not have to worry about all the bullshit of getting laid off and moving all over the world when somebody in Japan or Yves Guillemot wakes up and says, I've changed my mind, and he says, yeah, but Sony has the coolest tech and I like playing with the cool tech. And that I get. But if you're like a creative guy or girl and you want to express yourself, I don't get it. So anyway, shut up, Gavin. God damn, shut up. Go away then. I'm an out of touch fanboy for streaming. I don't care what you think, man. The only thing I care about as it relates to what you're typing, Gavin, is why you care. You and I get to disagree. I'm thrilled you don't like streaming. But I love it. It's been a great experience for me. And a lot of people try it and say, oh, yeah, I tried it. It was really good. It's really good. So shut up. Just don't play it. I care because you think your opinion is right. I don't care if it's right for you. It's right for me. Jeremy says, I'm a software engineer for a mid-sized company that makes mobile games. It's pretty cushy and doesn't all feel bad like the stories I've been hearing. Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. Fantastic. Well, congrats. And whatever me and the teams I got to work with did to contribute to your inspiration to get into that world and you're having a good time, that makes me happy to hear. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, Artemis, I don't like the new NVIDIA limits either, but that's just going to open up somebody else an ability to come in and, push back on that and build a better mousetrap. But I love it. Yeah, do that, Mr. K. Do it. Time him out. I mean, don't time him out because he's paid a bunch. No, that doesn't matter. This isn't Trump's America. This is Jaffe's America. You can't pay your way to time him out for 10 minutes. No, don't. If he does it again, though, if he does it again, time him out for 10 minutes. We love Gavin here. I'm not mad at the guy, but I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. We don't have to agree. What happened to that, man? My best friend, one of my best friends still, but growing up, we were best friends. He had Intellivision. I had Atari. Guess what? We didn't give a shit. I went over to his house to play Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. He came over to my house to play, I don't fucking remember, Indiana Jones in Combat. Wasn't that easy? Shut up. Be happy. You are literally able right now to communicate with one of the greatest video game creator designers that has ever walked the planet, aka me. You're over in merry old England or wherever the fuck you are, and you're able to talk to me in real time over a goddamn telephone. Be grateful. I need my smelling salts. Awesome Tatum, thank you, buddy. He says, Half-Life 2 20th anniversary. My entry into Steam, man, 20 years ago. Oh, I know, PC gaming is the best. I'm with you. In my opinion, it is the best. I get it. Console people love their consoles. I respect it. I get it. Oh, my goodness gracious. I love the PC gaming. It's just so much variety, man. Awesome Tatum, you turned me on. I think it was you. That's all I wanted to say. You turned me on. You turned me on to a game. I think it was something called Among Ashes. Does this sound familiar to you? This is the game I didn't want to ruin for people because I just kind of went to it and played it because you said, oh, you should play this demo. And I was like, this is so fucking cool. What is that thing called? It's called Among Ashes. Is exactly what it's called, and it's worth your time. It's worth your time, is what I would say. Okay, okay. Let us move forward, shall we? Listen to this though. The women's fight is live. Well, wait a minute, Bobo. Well, I'm doing a show right now. My priority is the show. I will be over on the Discord when the show's over. But I think we have a while before the Tyson fight is on. And I think we even have a while before the second and third to last undercards where there's a woman's fight that apparently is going to be brutal and really exciting. But I'm doing the show right now, but I appreciate the update. Thank you, buddy. Fuck you, you are fake. You know what, you are fake? Let me ask you a question. Would you call into my show? If you would call into my show, I'll put you on the air right now. I'll give you a link and everything. The main card starts now? I don't think so. Coming up next? Oh, man. Oh, man. Fuck. All right. Here's what we're going to do, fellas. The main card was okay. There's 4 undercards. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go do the Tyson fight. I'm going to come back and we're going to do part 2 of this show. Okay? We will do part 2 of this show. I want to talk about a lot more stuff with you guys tonight. But I ain't not watching that fight. So if you're a member and you want to talk about the fight, meet me over in the Diet Soda Soldier Room. Wait a minute. Let's be clear. Hang on. Just wait. Let me go over and see what's going on. I know the main card has multiple fights. There's 5 fights, right? I'm not stressing out tonight, Bulbo. I have energy. Okay, check it out. Let's talk about, we're going to get back to games, I promise. Oh, I'm a sports fan semi. I'm not, depends on the sport. I like boxing enough, but of course it's because I was a teenager when Tyson was in his prime. And that was amazing to watch. So let me show, so part of it's that I don't like the Paul brothers, although I think Logan Paul is excellent in WWE. Yeah, I don't think we have to rush. There are the preliminary fights, and then we've got 3 fights. Niraj versus Nunes. Is that Nunes like Amanda Nunes? Who was doing the goddamn MMA? Oh, cool. That's her first fight? Is she boxing now? Because she was doing MMA. Is this boxing? Is that Amanda Nunes? No, it's Withers Nunes. Okay. Anyway, so we have time. Okay, so we're going to wait for Tyson. Okay, we'll get back to video games then. We'll keep the show rolling. Okay, good to know. Boobo, you almost killed the show. What are you doing? Grandma, take control of your grandson. What the fuck's going on? Gavin House, thank you for the super chat. He says, Jaffe, I love you. I love you as you are, no matter your politics, but Trump's election shows half the U.S. isn't for this Marxist ideals. Games have been affected, but we will get back to normality. Either way. I don't care. The artist's job, if you're an artist, you make what you want to make. If you're a business and you want to stay in business, you balance what your artists want to create with what you need to sell to be as profitable as you need to sell. Maybe things will change because of that. We're already seeing that in certain companies like Disney. Great. Excellent. I don't care. Right? Just shut up. I don't mean you necessarily, Gavin, but I mean, if somebody likes Marxist ideals and they like a lot of LGBT plus in their video games, then they'll find them and they'll make them. And maybe you'll have to suffer through them if they're in a game you like. Maybe you won't. Your life is going to go by so quick, Mr. House. Change what you're focused on, dude. The only thing that you should be focused on is continuing to give me money, which I appreciate. But seriously, don't worry about it. I don't care. Artists are going to art and business is going to business and the world's going to keep spinning, and stop being so upset and getting people making you defensive and hate everybody else. Shut up. Be nice. Be nice. I'm going to move on, but I do want to address this because I'm sick of hearing about this. Gavin Howe says, so you made God of War based on your politics at the time, boobs and all. I'm not a moron. I made God of War. God of War and boobs and sex is not misogynistic. It's not political. People like sex. People like boobs. At least some people do. I do. I wanted them in God of War. So they were in God of War. If I were to remake God of War, I'd put it back in God of War. If I had the option. I don't know if Sony would give me the option. It's not political. You've been convinced and bamboozled into thinking all of this shit is political. It's just creative. Froman says he's derailing the show. I'm not going to have anybody block him. I should be professional enough, Froman, to go, okay, and don't make him disappear. That's my job. My job is to say, you're working for these people watching the show. And I'm really bad at that right now. I've always been bad at that, right? I'm bad. Fuck you, Doug. I'm bad at being able to be disciplined enough to say, stay focused, because I see something. And so I'm going to try. I appreciate you bringing it up to me, Froman, and you're right. I don't want him to derail the show. Let's stay focused. Stay focused, shall we? Okay, listen to this. Listen to this. There was a survey that the Entertainment Software Association did. They were asking 500 kids, 10 to 17, what they wanted to get for Christmas. Fuck you, Bukaki. That's what they wanted. And 76% of the kids said they are asking for game-related gifts this holiday season. That's good to hear. It's up from 72% last year. Subscription services are the number 2 thing they asked for at 43%, which is interesting. Followed by a tie between console games and game accessories at 41%. In-game currency is the least popular item on the list at 38%. The number 1 desired item above 43% for subservices were the consoles. So I don't know. Now, here's what I don't know, though. Here's what I really don't know. I don't know who in the fuck would want to buy an Xbox at this point. I really don't understand it. Phil Spencer did an interview. I know that they're talking about making a handheld / Switch kind of thing. So maybe that makes a little bit more sense for them. But it's like, guys, let me ask you this. Is anybody out there looking at the landscape of Xbox coming this Christmas and going, okay, there's going to be Indiana Jones, there's Call of Duty, there's Stalker, Avowed is coming up next. If you're into Microsoft Flight Sim, which launches in a couple of days, which the reviews have been amazing for so far, is anybody actually thinking of buying an X or an S? I have one, but I haven't turned it on because I have a PC. If I didn't have a PC, I'm sure I would. Microsoft is clearly, their engagement is up. Their Game Pass subscriptions, at least at the moment, is up. They're doing well, but it's not a traditional way that we judge that. But does anybody even, they couldn't get a foothold in any era except the 360. And so, I almost wonder, it's why don't you guys just be Game Pass and get out of the console space? But are any of you guys looking at picking up one of these, an Xbox? I have a PC, says Darth Nugget, with about the same. Right, exactly. So if you have a PC, fuck it, right? That's you don't need one. I do love Game Pass. I don't mean Game Pass. I mean the hardware. I mean the actual hardware. But 30 million consoles is nothing to scoff at. Yeah, but sure it is. Sure it is, Kaio. Compared to what the competition is doing. But yeah, Mama Dureza says the most logical and beneficial thing is to move to PC. If you can't afford it, you're right. Not everybody can. Not everybody has a bad PC but great streaming, or a great PC and they don't have to stream, or any mix of that. But I do wonder, I'm with you, Arathizzle. Xbox hardware strategy is abysmal. I just don't understand why they are continuing down this road, except Kyler in the chat says, I don't have a PC. I have a PS5 and a Series X. I enjoy them both. Yeah. So at that point, then the question really becomes, next generation, Kyler, are you, because you've been seeing so much stuff come to your PS5 that was at one time exclusive to the PlayStation, or sorry, coming to your PS5 that was one time exclusive to the Xbox, are you even interested next gen in picking up whatever their new hardware is? because I have an Xbox. It's down, and I don't really give a shit about it, but I love Game Pass. But I have a PC. But I'm just wondering if anybody's like, I don't know. I mean, they must. I don't know. That's wrong. I was going to say they must have the data to suggest people are interested, or they wouldn't be developing it. That's not true. I sat with a marketing one of the heads of marketing after the PSP was out, and they were showing me the Vita stuff, which I think was called at the time like Morpheus or something is what they called it, and it was like, I was like, kids have phones. Why do you think people are going to want to buy a PS Vita? And I was like, it's awesome. I wasn't shitting on it. It was awesome. But I'm like, who wants that? And they're like, I'm like, what does your research show? And then she kind of looked at me like, we didn't do any research. So I don't fucking know. But anyway, I was kind of surprised to see this. But look at this, though. Let me show you something on the screen here. Here's the game consoles. Best-selling game consoles. This was kind of surprising, too, though. Game Boy Advance, 81 million. Xbox 360, 84. PS3, 87. The Wii did 101. The PS1, 102. PS4, 118. 117. Game Boy/Game Boy Color, 119. Switch is at 146. DS is at 150. And the PS2 is at 160. So when you say 30 million is not any, did you say 30 or 60 is not something to scoff at? I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's certainly not in the top 10, not even close to top 10. Kyler, who has both, says, I'm interested in the next console generation for PS6 and the next Xbox, no matter what games come. Why though? Is it just because you consistently want to be on console and you don't want to have, you don't want to deal with a PC? Matthew, that just is dumb. Xbox has no software. Would you like to try again before I respond and tear your comment apart? Xbox has no software? Is that what you mean? Or do you mean Xbox has very little in the way of exclusive software that you can only play on Game Pass or that you can only play on an Xbox piece of hardware? Because that's true. But to say they have no software, I mean, even this Christmas, my God, Sony has a terrible Christmas. Not if you get a PlayStation for Christmas and you haven't played any of those games, and you also get a subscription to PS Plus, you're going to be thrilled. It's a great ecosystem to play in. But to say that they don't have any games like this Christmas time, you've got Astrobot and Lego Horizon are your big Sony Christmas titles. Over on Xbox, you've got Indiana Jones, you've got Avowed coming, you've got Stalker, you've got Call of Duty, you've got Flight Sim. Yeah, I'm with you, Total Package, 100%. Eddie says, I'll never buy an Xbox again because they're no longer in the business of making exclusive games. Could be. Yeah, I don't know what their business is anymore. But I mean, end of the day, though, I'm enjoying it. The two things I game on most this generation has been GeForce Now and Game Pass. So I'm happier than a pig in shit. Listen to this. Let's move on from sales. What do we know? Well, most of us will be gaming until the day we kick it. Think about that. You'll probably, if you watch a show like this, you will probably die on the same day that you will have played a final video game. Like, I play at least 10 games a day, various amounts. That's hyperbolic, probably 3 or 4 on average. You'll probably die, and you'll be like, that was the last game I ever played, but it was on the day you died, right? I remember I went home for my dad when he was dying, and he was on his deathbed, literally. He hospiced at home. And God, the poor guy, he didn't care, but the last movie he ever saw, because we were like, he was aware and conscious and all this shit. The last movie we all watched together, which is the last motion picture he ever saw, was this like forgettable movie with Richard Gere called Armitage. And we're like, yeah, put that on. Why not? I'm like, oh God. Can you imagine if the last game you ever play is something like, Bubsy 3D remaster or something? Shit. I mean, seriously, let me ask you, the last game that you play on this earth, if you can choose, like there's a writer named, great writer, modern writer, I think he's still alive, John Irving. He wrote The Trouble with Owen Meany and The World According to Garp and all this stuff. And his biggest inspiration is Charles Dickens. And he says he's read everything that Dickens has ever written except one book. And I don't know what book it is. I forget. He said it, but I don't know. He says, well, why is that? He says, because I know in my last days, I'd like to think I'm going to live to be an old man. So far, I think he has. Let's see. He says, I want that to be the last thing I ever read. I want there to be one more Charles Dickens book to read before I head out. And I thought that was so cool. Yeah, he's 82 right now, so you better get to it, buddy. But yeah, he did Hotel New Hampshire, Cider House Rules. Great fucking author. So I wonder, I mean, seriously, let me know. It didn't get dark. You are fake. What's wrong with thinking about it? So think about it. When you die, Eddie says, when I die, he wants his ashes put into his copy of Halo 2. Well, sure, that's fair. You know, you can't put your ashes in Game Pass now, can you, Eddie? I think when I die, the last game I ever would want to play. I mean, forget the sentimental stuff. Obviously, it would be like, oh, I want to play Wordle with my family. I'm just talking my own selfish something I'm playing just for me, not because it connects me with my family or anything like that. We're just talking about, you know, I would have to say. The last game, Robbo says Final Fantasy VII. I get that. Denova says Superman 64. Because you're prepping for hell. Clearly, you think you're going to hell. I would say I would want to play probably Hearthstone. It would be the last, assuming, you know, at its height. I want it to be balanced well. I would say I would want to play Hearthstone for like 3 hours and go, that was it. That was my last game. My last thing I ever played was Hearthstone. Ultra Awesome says, I just want to play Counter-Strike and talk trash one last time. That's pretty good. Brad Skaggs says Fallout New Vegas. Red Dead Redemption 2 is for Brett Moore, but you're not telling me why, right? I would want to play, here's why I would want to play Hearthstone. At its height when it was well balanced before Activision came in, but it's better now. But because there is a joy to the ambiance of the game, being in the tavern, it's warm, it's cozy, it's mentally engaging. You can deal with other people, but you have emotes that are pre-selected, so you don't have to deal with any assholes. But you still have a sense of connection, and it's just it's a beautiful looking game. Marvel Snap doesn't have the ambiance, Scarlet Panic. I love Marvel Snap, and I play it more these days than Hearthstone, but I want a nice, cozy fade out, and I'm going to get that from Hearthstone. Eddie T says, I would choose PT, one good last scare, and it's something not readily available anymore. That's a good one. Ludo says, God of War Ragnarok. Okay, I'm out. Yeah, well, you know. Doug says I would immerse myself in Seaman I know you're saying Seaman one last time. I understand. MLB The Show says Zeke Tetris Effect because it's calming, says Jonathan. Tech Protect says from Hearthstone. Yeah, it's your favorite game as well, isn't it? Tech Protect, Hearthstone. That would be the game I would want to play on my deathbed. Is that Tech Protect? Is that your favorite? That's what you would want to play if you knew you were dying, and it's like you can play an hour of a video game. Would it be that? Eric says, put on Astrobot and watch Jaffe die right now. I don't hate it. I just wanted it to be something different. Yeah, I'd play Metroid Dread. Oh my God. Bukaki says Destiny 1 right before 2 came out. It was perfect. Oh, that's a good one. Some say, Cosm says Bloodborne. I mean, yeah, but can you imagine if you actually die and there is a hell, you would just kind of fade off and you couldn't tell the difference between Bloodborne and hell. Maybe that's good. Kyler says Crash Bandicoot because I would like Twanda to be my life. I don't think that's how games work, sir. I'd play Twisted Metal 2012 multiplayer since I didn't get to before the servers were unplugged. This is not when you get to heaven, Wallace. This is what you would play before you die. Tech Protect says my last hour of a game I'm putting on Super Mario 64. I get that. That's fair. And here's how you know that I'll be cutting this up and making it its own video because I'm going to record it right now. Here we go. Denova says, "What?" Here's how I'm going to do it. So you get to see the behind the scenes. Isn't it fascinating? Adam says Skyrim because I could get lost in it. Mabooty says Donald Duck going quackers. Twisted Metal 2 with my bro in the afterlife. Gavin says, I'm not reading that. Denova says, what about a Resident Evil? I agree. What about you? Watching this video after the fact. What game? Let me set it up for you. You got an hour. You got 1 hour left. You know you're going out. It's going to be stress-free. Maybe it's like in Sweden where you get in one of those pods and you hit the button and it's like, okay, I'm going to die. I'm leaving on my own terms. I have an hour. I've said my goodbyes. I've done the will. I'm good. Now I have my video game right here. What's the game that you would play if you knew you were going out and you had 1 hour left? Let me know in the comments because, boy, I love it when people on YouTube say that. Wink. Wink. Okay. Tech Protect, let me ask you a question. Tech Protect is my daughter's boyfriend. Is she watching this show or is this just you? I would hate to think my kids watch this show and they're like, my dad's a fucking idiot. That would just be terrible. Fuck you, Bukaki. Bukaki says I would play Drawn to Death so Jaffe could let me down one last time. Oh, you son of a bitch. All right. Oh, look at me having the discipline and avoiding somebody in the chat that's simply trying to bait me. Think about that. How boring your life must be. Let's move on. I want to talk about men and the women folk. There's a study that came out. Now, this study actually came out a while ago, but I got linked to it because I was looking at this other study about what characters women pick in video games. And it was interesting, but it wasn't really interesting enough to talk about. But this study that I got linked to really got I wanted to share it with you. Tech Protect says she, meaning my kid, does hear me watching the show every so often. And she says things like, yeah, my dad's funny, or he is an interesting guy, right? Whenever I comment. Oh, that's nice. I'm such a fan. Mr. K says, Tech Protect, I'm going to ban your ass. Tech Protect is an MMA fighter in Vegas. He will bust your brain through a hole. I don't know how it works, Tech Protect. I don't know how you kill people, but keep it up. But yeah, I want to share this story with you. Because it's like, you know what? This is worth, knowing. Okay? A study has found that men who harass women online are actual losers, at least when it comes to video games. This is coming from BBC America. Men who perform poorly in games in this study, 163 games of Halo. Men who perform poorly in the games responded by being hostile to female players. Would you like to know why? This is, they said the male winners were mostly pleasant to other players, including women, while the losing men made unsavory comments to the females. And I believe it. Some of you guys clearly were raised with terrible fathers. And I'm serious, man. I think what you should do is look into the internet to teach you about masculinity. Look to the internet to teach you what a good dad would have taught you, which is not being an asshole. Okay, listen to this. The male winners were mostly pleasant to other players, while the losing men made unsavory comments to the female players. Mabooty says, I'm a loser and I actually do that. Well, at least you own it. There's the quote from the University of New South Wales and Miami. This was a strange university. And the Miami University in Ohio. I'm sorry. Low status males that have the most to lose during a hierarchical reconfiguration, which means at the end of the game, they see their status of the game, are responding to the new threat that female competitors pose. High status males with the least to fear were more positive. When performing poorly, players increase negative statements towards women and submissive statements towards the men that were winning. You guys are bitches. Bukaki says, being high T, it comes with the territory. Everything makes me mad and all I feel is rage. But you're not high T according to this. If that's how you behave, you're actually quite low T. When performing poorly, players increased negative statements towards the women and submissive statements towards the men that were winning, as men often rely on aggression to maintain their dominant social status. The increase in hostility towards a woman by lower status males may be an attempt to disregard a female's performance, the researchers write. Male players were thrown off by hearing female voices during the game. I'm a badass military guy, but I heard a woman's voice. I don't know what to do. The researchers think the results that young males should be taught that losing to women is not socially debilitating. The results also suggest games may reinforce gender segregation and potentially promote sexist behaviors, especially troubling since so many gamers are teenagers. Trey Trimble says, I mean, at the end of the day, we are animals, right? Yeah, but we're animals with the ability to grow and learn and evolve. So that's the only difference. The people, if you basically just say, oh, but we're animals, that's how it works. Sure. But we're not just that anymore. We have evolved mentally from the lizard brain part to the frontal lobe. And in that, that's where our potential is. And honestly, I do think that's where more of our problems come from and it's not a eugenics thing. It's not a race thing. It's more of just a who got lucky or unlucky, depending on what you want to think, and go, those people over there are a little bit more evolved in the frontal lobe than those people over there. And in that, a little bit less evolved is going to create, I think, a lot of what we're seeing right now. I'm not saying the lizard brain is bad. It has kept us alive for a very long time and continues to do so. But you also need this part. You need the front part. And I think that's cool, but I do think, some people are just not really ready to be with other people. But, whatever. I thought it was an interesting story, okay? Oh, I agree, Droptimus. Aliens breeded us. Yeah, I don't believe that, but I don't not believe that. It sounds more valid than a lot of other theories about why we're here. Let's put it that way. Humanity working together has overcome the lizard brain. It has not overcome it, but it is absolutely, look, man, I want to live. I want to be in the Star Trek world. I want to get to a point where we have all managed to sort of deal with our greed and hatred and anger and in lizard brain, dominance. And we've been able to go, okay, let's take a fucking breath. It's going to take some time. We just got to survive long enough. Oh, Bukaki, I'm so sad you're fatter than I am, which means you'll probably die really soon. You're a funny guy. Okay. Bukaki, would you like to be on, and I don't know, you're probably under a house this Monday, but we're doing the Game Award nominees this Monday morning at 9 a.m. So if you're around, jump on the call. We'll bring you in. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Okay, let's move forward. What else we got? We got a lot, actually. Oh, I got to show you guys this. Let's talk Bloodborne for a minute. This isn't Bloodborne news, but I gotta ask you something, because I love... well, maybe you won't be at work when we do the actual live show. Sounds like Gaz is in, so if you want to do a repeat of last year. I don't know if Gene's in. I haven't talked to him, but I'll ask him. But anyway, am I more excited for Thunderbolts or Cap 4? TJM, I haven't seen the trailer for Thunderbolts, the new one. The new Cap trailer, I think, looks not good at all. I'll see it when it streams, but... Okay, listen, though. So... Bloodborne is one of my favorite games of all time. Elden Ring is currently my favorite game of all time. I love Demon Souls. I am a fan of the Souls games and the From Software games. But I do wonder about the freedom that fans of those games have allowed From Software to get away with a lot of shit that isn't good when it comes to combat in terms of situational spatial awareness, right? Because the camera's close enough that a lot of times you get hit and damaged because you can't see what's coming. right? And yeah, I understand there are some sound cues, and over time you can learn the timing, you can compensate. I get it. I get it. And I also understand the commercial value of keeping the camera there versus pulling it back. There was a game that was out this year, which is excellent, called No Rest for the Wicked, which had Souls-like combat, but it was from an isometric view. And even though I don't like it as much as the Souls games, it was nice to be able to actually have combat from a perspective where I could read a lot of the attacks and see what was coming without, you know, getting hit from behind or whatever, or being so close to the boss because they're so big that you're too close to read the telegraph animation. So you're like, I didn't even see it coming, right? And so I've always, you know, Matthew says nobody wants a game that looks like Diablo. Please shut up when you type like that. Don't speak for everybody. You may not. I love No Rest for the Wicked. Mabooty in the chat says No Rest for the Wicked is awesome. Why would you? Don't tell me what nobody wants. I wouldn't tell you that, you know, nobody wants to go home at night and have sex with their mother. That's clearly what you like, and it's illegal. It's probably not healthy if you have a baby, but, you know, I respect your right to do what you like. Tell me what I want in a game. The point, though, is this one guy says, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to make Bloodborne isometric. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Check it out. This is his take on Bloodborne. I mean, it's you know, it's a homebrewed mod. I don't think it's going to ship or anything, but it was cool to see. This is over on Reddit, but let me make it bigger for you. He's basically remade the game in an isometric view. And there it is. And assuming the combat is the same, like, I don't know, because obviously this isn't running on a PC, so it's not like he modded it and moved the camera. He is doing a nuts to bolts remake of it, and he's pulled the camera back. And I'm gonna, it's on my radar now, because I would love to see if, like No Rest for the Wicked, like, does this actually feel more satisfying to play? Because you're able to, you know, read and recognize the attacks and the patterns and all of that, whereas in the current From Software, and again, I don't think From Software should change their camera. They're onto something. It's commercial. They make a lot of money. People can live with it. I'm talking just game design, just pure nuts and bolts game design. I do think the combat works better from this perspective because you can see it better. I mean, I've had a lot of people tell me they don't like the camera in God of War 2018, and certainly I believe it's even closer in Ragnarok because, yeah, they put up little indicators around you, but you can't tell what's happening. And so you have no situational awareness of the combat zone. So I get it. And I get the commercial thing that you're not going to want to do this perspective for a lot of people. But if you're curious about this topic, seriously, I advise you, if you have a PC, to pick up No Rest for the Wicked or wait for it to come out on early access. It's just an excellent game in and of itself. It's from the guys who made Ori and the Blind Forest, right? So you know you're getting quality. But it also does bring this particular design conundrum to light, which is we choose to play games that are more dramatic, but don't play as well. And I get it. I get it. Like, we choose to go to movies that are a lot more commercial and have cool effects and have beautiful people, even though the stories might not be anywhere near as good and the movie not as satisfying as a small art film. I mean, it's the same as it ever was when it comes to making creative choices based on how many people you want to attract. But as a game designer, I look at this and go, man, it would be hard to not make a game like this from this perspective. But I'm glad to see this. I hope this guy sticks with it. Doug says this looks cool. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm totally curious. It looks terrible, says Fupy, like the survival vampire game. It's Bloodborne. Right now, all you know is it's Bloodborne. You don't know anything else. Guys, can you, yeah, Gavin, somebody time Gavin out. You're pissing off the chat. I can ignore you, but when you piss off the chat, Gavin, somebody time him out, please. I would appreciate it, Mr. K or Bukaki. Thank you, guys. Gavin, I love that you're a member. I love you're part of our community. I appreciate your super chats today. It's not that I'm timing out opposing views. I don't mind that we're timing out opposing views. That I don't mind that you have opposing views. Come on, anybody who comes to the show knows I have no problem with that. But you're just trolling. And if the people who are reading the chat are finding it annoying, I'm going to defer to them. And they're telling me they're finding it annoying. So, yeah, blatantly antagonistic, says Doug. Absolutely. All right. Anyway, keep an eye on it if you're interested in this. He says, I decided to stop last year for 50 reasons. Too big, too risky to finally be cease and desisted. But last week I decided to start a new project, Bloodborne Top-Down Arena. I'm excited. I want to see where he goes with this fucking thing. Listen to this. Actually, hang on a second. Here's what we're going to do. We'll come back. I want to show you something first, though. I want to show you this, and then we're going to come back and talk about some of these other news stories. But right now, I want to show you something. I want to make sure you can hear it, though. So this is the part. Yeah, Darth Nugget says you can be blatantly antagonistic, but you have to be entertaining. You goddamn right. Okay. Again, if you want to call in the next segment and talk, put yourself in the Discord, get on the show. I'll bring you in. I'll keep it short. Focus on what you want to talk about. But in the meantime, I want to show you something really cool. When we come back from the break, but the break is going to have cool stuff in it, I want to show you a very cool game during the break that I don't hear enough people talking about. It's just at the demo phase right now, but it's really cool. We're going to talk about where we're at with the Game of the Year nominees, Metacritic's top games, IGN's top games, what is probably going to be nominated this Monday morning. We might have a little Nintendo news. We might have a little Superman news, and I got to show you some crazy shit. But in the meantime, though, I invite you, my friends, to check this out, and I will see you on the flip side of this very short but very necessary break. I got to show you a brand new demo that I found this weekend. It is nuts. I've never seen a game like this. Before I show it to you, though, we got to give gratitude. We got to give thanks to the folks that keep this show chugging along every single goddamn week. Thank you, fellas and Filettis. Let's see if we can bring them out. They're a little shy. Let's see. Taylor, where is she? Here she is. Here she comes. The parade float. Taylor Sweet Tooth Jaffe. And who's she dragging behind her? Let's check it out. We got Big Bad Eddie Torres, biggest collector in video games. We got Zack Procrastinates. If he could just get himself to get out of bed in the morning, we'd see him here on live shows more often. We got the Lewist of the Lutron. Lutron Z is here. We got Swapfire, the creator of Swapfire, a very unique first-person competitive shooter that we'll actually be showing off later in the week here on this very stream. And, of course, the best, or one of the best DMs of Dungeons & Dragons, and the best Dungeons & Dragons guy player on the planet. He knows what I mean. Hector Howell. Thank you, fellas and Filettis, for supporting the show like you do for as long as you have. Very much appreciated. If you want to get on Taylor Swift's float, and why wouldn't you, you also can become a God of War and get a shout-out every single goddamned live episode of Gabbin' Games. Join the Gods of War. Be aware, there's a link below. It'll tell you all you're getting right now is the shout out. We're redoing the perks, so don't expect the cards or the gifts or any of that in the mail. That's not happening. But join at any tier. Link down below. See what you get. There's all kinds of stuff we're doing stuff all during the week. We got members only stuff, so check it out. Don't forget to like the stream, subscribe if you're interested. Now I want to show you this demo. This is nuts, man. Check it out. Blood Typers is one of the coolest games I've seen all year. I don't really do a lot of the typing game genre. I think they're cool. I didn't come up with them as a kid with Mavis Bacon and all that. I was a little too old for that. But this, regardless, is neat, man. Let me show you this. This is Blood Typers. We'll go in I could probably do better, but I'm going to go Novice Typer. Gameplay difficulty normal. Let's just go with the basics. I think you play these guys that are like in this multiplayer online. I haven't tried that yet, but you play these guys that are, I think, exploring a haunted house. They all have different stats. I go with this guy because he's got the most health. It kind of looks like Carl Weathers. You're in this haunted house. It's very Resident Evil. You've got a map that unveils and reveals itself as you explore. And this is just the demo. The final game's not out yet. So type this to open. As you can see, I'm already messing up. Hey, now, type this to open. All right. So what you do is you move by now again, people may have made a game like this before. If they did, I've never seen it. You basically move the camera with the arrow keys. It's all keyboard based, and you move by typing where you want to go. You don't have to hit enter. There are certain functions that you can do by hitting dash that are less about moving and more about picking things up, eating things. Like, let's go get that gun over there. So now we'll say grab pistol. And you don't have to hit enter. It takes some time to remind myself that. Let's go get some bullets. And then you can also go into combat mode at any time by hitting tab, and you don't have to hold tab down, but it keeps you in there so the game knows, okay, you want to fire your gun or you want to use your pipe or kind of whatever you have at the bottom there, right? So let's do the pipe for now. Let's not waste ammo. We'll go into it. Obviously, the words are a little more complicated, and every time you get one, it'll attack if you're close enough. So here's the bad guy. He's too far away. If I just stay with the pipe, it's going to push me towards him, but I can also switch to, I'm going to take damage. I don't care. Switch to the pistol. I took a little damage, not too bad though. Let's go get some meat. Let's eat it real quick. Hey, come on now. Quick meat. Quick eat. God damn it, Jaffe. What did I do? Oh my God. See, sometimes you got to pay attention. All right, here we go. So I'm back to excellent health. All right, let's get some. And you got a couple of different types of weapons in the demo. I'm going to get the fuel for the flamethrower, which is pretty useful. I'm going to get some more food. Let's see. I'll just grab it. Let's go over to get the sandwich. Now I'm out of inventory, so let's swap it with the bread. I'll just do eat bread. Who gives a shit? I ate the bread. Oh, I forgot the dash? Forgot the dash. All right. I mean, seriously, can you imagine having this like in middle school or something? I don't know if it necessarily teaches typing. And these are real maps. This is not some linear typing of the dead thing. And again, oh shit. I have not played Typing of the Dead, but I'm almost certain, as I recall, Typing of the Dead, just from seeing the trailers, is linear, like House of the Dead. But this is a full adventure game. I'm going to switch to my pipe. I don't want to waste ammo. Where you're exploring, jumping, climbing ladders, solving puzzles. Let's see what's in here. Okay, that thing over there is, I think, an enemy generator. Let's see if I'm not sure what turns it on. At some point, that's going to turn on and start spawning enemies. But let's... and that's a locked door over there. I'm just going to go get some more ammo. You make one mistake, and you start getting confused. Uh-oh, okay, so I'm going to go get this guy. Easy. Shit. Okay, what's that? Is that a shotgun? Let's see if that's a shotgun. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm going to get rid of my... I'm gonna eat the meat, and I'm gonna get the shotgun. Somebody's trying to break in. You hear that? Okay, fuck it. Eidos. Oh shit. Oh shit. You have to reload it. Fuck. Had to switch the pipe. Alright, let me get the bullets. I'm telling you, man. This is a good game. What I get from this. Now you've got a timer, so you don't have much time to get this done in. Okay, so... Are those... Yeah, I don't want any of those. And then you can go to notes and you can turn off safe mode, which I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it just makes it harder? Right? So let's see what happens now. I think this is what creates maybe the generator. So let's look at the map. And you can interrupt your typing to make him just keep walking if you're just simply about getting, once you learn the map, you know, he'll just go continuously. If you, and the word, I don't think the words may change per game, but they don't change per, that's not what I'm trying to say. Oh shit, hang on. Like the enemy words change. I don't think that once a game is initiated, like D to walk or yet, I don't think those change. That's pretty good. So you can really kind of start to master it. But again, I don't know if that goes between games or not. So let's go back to our shotgun. You just know going in like what you're going to type. So you don't have to, you can start typing before you get there is the point, which is pretty cool. I think that's poison. Oh, I don't know what the boards are for. I assume you can maybe, or the planks that I just walked past. I'm assuming you can maybe board up windows, but it hasn't asked me to do that yet. All right. Yeah, of course they are. I don't want to waste it with a shotgun though. Okay, see that thing? Dump, pour. Let me kill this guy. No, what is this? That's spawning these guys, so you gotta... Oh, shit. I want to leave combat mode. Okay, I'm reloaded now, so... Oh, and you can do those in any order. That's cool. Oh shit, what's this one? Sway. Quid. Oh, shit. I wish I could see the name of that guy, though. No, reload. Oh shit, 6. I'm so fucked. No. Run. Come on, this game's awesome. Now I'm gonna eat this cheese. I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, I gotta go shut that door or kill that thing. It's almost dead though. Alright, come on. Oh, thank God. Okay. And then let's go up the ladder. Let's see if there's any health in here real quick. Because I don't know what that cheese did, but it did not heal me. No. Oh, that's why. Alright, let's go up the ladder. Maybe there's some health up there. And then you've got these jump mini games. Oh, there's a key over there. Okay, UDS. All right. And I don't know why his jump is... You got to hit it right when it's going into the circle. I don't know. They each have different, the characters, different jumps. Maybe it's the jump readout there. Like he's got 2 out of 4, I think. Maybe that's like the speed that thing closes in. So a better jumper is going to have an easier time with this. All right, let's see. Let's go up these steps. I think because I wonder if because I turned on that computer that made things harder. I'm assuming that's what it did, but I don't really know. Oh, there's some bullets. Good. No, that's just meat, but that's good too. I don't know how long I would want to play this game. Like, I really like it, but it seems like the kind of thing that I hope is a group of short chapters instead, that you can kind of play, get your fill, come back a few days later. I don't think I'd want to play a full-on Resident Evil style game in this that's that long, that isn't kind of broken up in a way that's, that's more user-friendly. Because it's interesting. It takes, or it utilizes, you can really feel it. It's a very different kind of muscle, gameplay muscle than you're used to. And it's like the stamina to play. I know it sounds stupid, but the stamina to play a game like this as a full-on game, mentally, I don't know, it might be a little too much, for a really long game, but maybe I'm just being a little fucking, oh shit. Oh, no, what? I'm in combat mode, ASKS. Oh, I'm in the wrong, I don't have a pipe. Oh shit. Oh, shit. Get out of here. Where did I must have put my pipe down somewhere. I'm an idiot. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Get up there. Okay, okay. I don't know if they can climb ladders or not. We'll find out. So far, no. What's that? What's that? Come on. I ain't touching that. Why would I? What is that? Oh, planks? Fuck you. All right, there's some food over there. Alright, so I guess I gotta go down there. This is not gonna end well. I am fucked. Now I'm just like looking at all the words really quickly. It's like hurry, run, run, run. Hopefully this is a good door. Shit, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, we're done. Come, can I please get some fucking ammo? Please? Are you guys shitting me? Or at least a pipe? Elf, elf, elf. Okay. 2. Oh, no. Get the fuck out of here. I have nothing. I have not. All right. Well, not too shabby. Not too shabby. This is cool, man. Like I said, and I want to try it with multiplayer as well. So this is not out yet. This is coming out, I think, in next year sometime, February. Okay, so not too long. I'm excited. I think it's really, really good, and I will be picking it up. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the longevity per play session, but I absolutely think it is a game that I will come back to numerous times, especially if the multiplayer is fun. It's very tense. It's very exciting. It's very cool. I've never played a game like this. Like I said, maybe there has been a typing game like this, but if there is, I've certainly never seen it. I love it. It's Blood Typers. Let's get back to the show. Well, there you go. Now, Jaffe, come on now. All right, fellas, welcome back to the second half of the Gabbin' and the Games. The fight's not happening yet, so we have some more game stuff to talk about. I just took a little break. I hope you thought Blood Typers looked cool. I think it looks very cool. The demo is out right now on Steam. Comes out in February. I'll be getting it because that was a great time. And it's also multiplayer. I want to try it with online and see how it is. That's in the demo as well. Yeah, I just ate a little burrito and a cup of yogurt, kind of reset my brain for the second half of the show. I appreciate you hanging in there with me. Before we get to the next topic, I will bring in, let's see what Psycho wants to say. Psycho, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, okay. I was waiting for you.
Yes, I know.
Okay, it didn't look like you were actually gonna on your stream. You didn't say my name before you.
But now I have. You are here. What's up, Psycho?
What's up? Okay, okay. I need to exit out your video. So okay.
Yeah.
There we go. So how's it going?
It's going good. I'm doing a stream. I'm excited to watch Mike Tyson hopefully beat the tar out of the Paul boy. It's going good. How are you?
Voice Critical did say that he he didn't actually have too much ill will towards him, obviously, but.
Well, I want to see him win the fight. I don't think Mike Tyson necessarily has ill will towards anybody he steps in the ring with.
I'm talking about Voice Critical, not Mike Tyson.
Who the fuck is Moist Critical?
You haven't heard of him?
I'm a 53-year-old man, bitch. You think I give a fuck about what the fuck is Moist Critical? Moist Critical sounds like you're getting a girl excited and you end up drowning in the fluids. Am I right? Am I right, Psycho?
You dirty! I am going to. Oh, you better hope when we one day play Lethal Company together, I do not betray you because of that one single line.
Okay, so what would you like to talk about on the show for the brief time you're on the show? What's going on, baby?
Oh, shit!
Are you all right? Did you fall down? Psycho? Psycho? Hello? Well, while we're waiting for him to come back in, would you like to know the...
Sorry.
What happened? Are you okay?
Yes. I forgot the dogs were outside.
Okay. So bring the tone down a little bit. People can't understand you. So what do you want to talk about, baby? What's up?
Ooh, not much. Let's see.
Let me be more specific. Why are you calling? What would you like to speak to me about on this show that people are watching in hopes of being entertained?
Let's see.
Have you not thought about it before you called?
We talk about the game Black Myth Wukong.
Okay, we can do that. What do you think about Black Myth Wukong?
I haven't played it, but I really do want to get it. Although I don't have the hardware to play it.
What do you play on?
Xbox currently.
Oh, it's coming to Xbox, I heard. At least that's the rumor, correct? Listen, Black Myth Wukong, by the way, I am looking at the top 20 downloads on PlayStation 5 from October. Do you know where Black Myth Wukong is? Can you guess the number, if it's on the chart at all?
I'm going to say billions of downloads.
Well, no, but guess the number. Is it the number one downloaded title of October, or was it the 20th, or somewhere in between?
I'm going to go with 10th most downloaded.
Nope, number 17. Can you guess what the number one game was that was downloaded last month in October on PlayStation 5? The number one game that people said, I want this. And it's paid, not free to play. Free to play, I think, went this month to Throne and Liberty from Amazon, and then Fortnite, Roblox, Call of Duty Warzone.
Twisted Metal game?
No, it's not a Twisted Metal game.
That was a joke, obviously.
I know. It's a very good one. But what do you think the number one game was?
It couldn't be Baldur's Gate because I think that was last month or last year, right?
Very different times last month or last year. It was not Baldur's Gate. It was not Bukaki's guessing Dragon Age, but no. Would you like me to tell you? Well, let me tell you the top 10. How about we get to the top 10? Then you'll see as we close in. Well, to prove that Halloween is a very popular holiday, we obviously have Phasmophobia was on there, console launch. Metaphor ReFantasio was 12. 11 was Pow World. Dragon Age was number 10. Grand Theft Auto 5 was 9. EA Sports, soccer, football, whatever the fuck it is 8. NBA 2K25 is 7. 6 is Madden. I'm surprised college football.
I thought Wukong was 7, or was
17,
that a different...
17, baby.
Oh, god damn it! I am mixing up the numbers already.
No, it happens. Here we get into the top 5. EA Sports, Madden 90, NFL 25. I don't see college football though, which is a great game. I'm bummed that's not up there. Oh no, it's in the top 20 though. It's in the top 20. It was like number 14. Okay, here we go. Number 4 was Silent Hill 2. Nice to see that up there. One of the best games of the year. Undisputed.
Yeah, is it the remake or the original?
The remake. Undisputed, which is this boxing game. I'm stunned that came in at number 3 ahead of Silent Hill. Dragon Ball Sparkling, for all the weebs out there, is number 2. The number 1 game, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. What do you think of that, buddy?
I haven't played Call of Duty in a long time. I have played Black Ops 2, and I think it had the best campaign in it.
You have an Xbox, correct?
Yeah.
You have Game Pass?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, download it. Go play it. It's great.
Xbox One X. It's not an Xbox Series X.
Where do you? Don't give me your address, but what part of the country do you live in?
Utah.
Okay, you're close enough to a server farm. Do you have good internet?
I don't know. I do have. Looks like my internet's not doing bad right now.
Well, go to internet speed test. Let me know what you have, because you might be able to stream it and you won't notice a difference, at least in the campaign. Campaign's pretty good from what a lot of people say. But you should get it on Game Pass, man. Because it'll still run on your Xbox One and run on your fucking TV if you can stream it. Anyway, though, Psycho, thank you for calling, buddy. You going to watch the fight with us over on the Discord tonight?
Oh yeah, sure.
All right, we'll see you over there, buddy. Thanks, man.
Okay.
Right.
Wait, wait, do I do the internet speed test?
You do the internet speed test, but hang on, I can't leave him hanging. Just basically go to Google and type in internet speed test, and then hit me up in the chat and tell me what it is, okay?
Okay, go. All right.
See you, bud. All right, Ludo. Ludo is calling all the way in from the Eiffel Tower. What's up, buddy? Ludo is mutoed. Come on, baby. Hit that button.
Yeah.
There you go. What's going on, bud?
Yeah, everything is fine, and you?
It's good. What time is it in Paris? In Gay Paris?
Yeah, I'm not living in Paris at the moment.
Where do
I'm
you
living
live now?
in northeast of France.
You're living where?
Northeast of France.
Oh, it's the same thing. Anything out of America, it's all the same. What time is it where you are?
2:54 a.m.
I appreciate you staying up late with us. What do you want to talk about, Ludo?
I want to talk about one of the game that on the indie games that you mentioned in the past. Sorry we're closed.
Sorry we're closed. Just came out yesterday. Yeah. It's delightful. It's excellent. Yeah. Sitting at an 85 Metacritic. It's a horror game. I highly recommend it. What do you think of it?
Yeah, because I bought the game and I played it through, and actually,
one moment. You bought the game and played it because of my recommendation, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is why, if you're watching, you need to subscribe, or you need to be a member or a sponsor of the goddamn Gabbin' in the Games. I have 10 minutes of airtime to fill every show. Every show. Give me some ducats. I'll pitch your game if I like it. Anyway, Ludo, go.
So exactly. So actually, the thing is, I want all the guys on the chat to know the game is awesome.
Yes.
But the thing is the difficulty is very. After a moment, the difficulty is very challenging. Although I mean, what I'm saying is that on the munitions, the ammo, and all this, right? You have very few ammos after a while, so you have to really use them wisely, you know.
Yeah, I mean, is it like Resident Evil in that way, or is it like hard? Yeah. Is it poorly tuned? Like, do you mean it's too hard, like it's a badly tuned game? and they need a patch, or is it just survival horror where you just need to be careful with the weapons you have?
So from what I saw, um, I think it got already patched to the game because I saw an update of 700 ammo. So I think the game already got patched.
Okay. Okay.
But
Cool.
what I'm saying is that the game in itself is very awesome.
Yes.
The narrative is also very awesome. But the problem is that the game can be very hard and challenging at some point, because of the low ammo that you can
No, I know.
have.
We talked about that, but you said that they just put a patch out, correct?
Yeah, the patch. I don't know what area of the game does the patch solve exactly, or what type of element in the game does it solve.
Right.
I mean, does he patched? Yeah. But actually, the game, I think the game is very disturbing.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
Mhm.
It's very disturbing in a good way because that you have that figure you remember in the beginning of the game, like
that very strange androgynous looking creature.
Yeah.
I don't want to say creature like it's a negative thing, but like it's you don't really know what it is. It's like a Marilyn Manson made of silly putty stretched out. It's very strange.
After a while, you know what she is exactly, and the problem is that she, you see her in a, I mean, it's like she persecutes you in a bad way.
Don't ruin it for me because I'm looking forward to. I haven't played as far as you have, but yeah. So I mean, the one thing I would be curious about, but it sounds like you're not sure, is there are survival horror games that, it's not necessarily hard. It's that you go in knowing you need to conserve ammo, and then there are just poorly tuned survival horror games. So I'm curious, which is this like? But I know going in and playing it, and if you're watching this and you're considering it, there is a demo. Pick it up. I assume it's coming to consoles, but I don't think it's on console yet. But I will very carefully, I will conserve my ammo just in case, because there are some melee weapons.
The problem is that I found that the demo was easier than the final game, actually.
All right. Well, if you're not sure, I will be picking it up and I will be playing it, and I'll let you know what I think if you're considering it watching the show. But all right, Ludo, I'm going to get back to the show. Thanks for calling, buddy.
Okay.
All right. See you later. All right. There's Ludo staying up late with us, calling in from the top of the Eiffel Tower. Listen to this. This is a brief little news story I want to share with you guys. You know how they're always making movies about anything these days? Anything that's got a goddamn license, because you got anything that's going to put you ahead of the curve. I get it. Movies are expensive. People's time is, it's difficult to get people on the hook. Well, they're making a movie. Listen to this. Listen to this. We know they're making a movie, believe it or not, based on Uno. Whatever. Stupid idiots. But they're making a movie, and it's a horror version of Hungry, Hungry Hippos. It's not a lie. It's not a lie, folks. Writer-director James Nunn. He doesn't know what part of the game it's going to take inspiration from, but it is called Hungry. It centers on Torres trying to fend off violent man-eating hippo. Understandably led genre fans to arrive at the conclusion. According to Variety, it's a survival thriller, will be set in Louisiana swamplands, being swapped around at the 2024 American film market. Hungry, Hungry Hippos. Think about that. You can make a movie out of anything. You can make a goddamn motion picture show out of anything. Except this, I'm getting there's two things I'm tired of. Now, one of these has faded into the background, which is where people say, journalists say, where's our Citizen Kane of video games? Where's the game that makes us cry? And I'm like, okay, please don't talk about Citizen Kane if you don't actually know why Citizen Kane is important to film. Citizen Kane is not important to film because it's a movie that made you cry. It's important to film because it's a movie that introduced all kinds of visual language and techniques to tell stories visually with the camera, and that were exclusive to the medium of film, unlike what we had before, which was basically filming a play. That's the real reason that movie is looked at, rightly so, as very important by people who understand film history. Video games have had their Citizen Kane, and it's called Mario 64. Okay? They're talking about something else. But here's another thing that really pisses me off. That's abated a little bit, but this doesn't seem to go away. This is a new article in Polygon, and it's driving me fucking batshit. It's driving me fucking batshit. Superman is the white whale of video game superheroes. No, he isn't. No, he isn't. I don't understand. These people act like when you make a video game with the character is real, and you're having to use all of the pros and cons of the character. It's fiction. If Superman was so difficult to create a game for, he would be difficult to make a movie about, or TV shows, or 50, 60, 70 years of comics about. It's Superman. It's easy. How hard is it? Well, he's super strong. He has no weaknesses. He does have weaknesses. Forget the emotional weaknesses. Forget the psychological weaknesses. His weakness is kryptonite, for goddamn sake. How is this hard? So Lex Luthor, I mean, I'm not saying this is a good story, but it could be as basic as Lex Luthor getting a big shipment of kryptonite and making a bunch of super suits for guys that fight Superman. Or he makes Horizon-like dinosaurs and they all have kryptonite hearts. Why is this hard? I'm tired of reading about it. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of people saying making a Superman video game is somehow some kind of problem. I don't understand this. Does anybody watching this stream right now or in the comments after the fact understand why this continuously is a talking point amongst folks? It's Superman. He's easy to kill. He's not easy to kill in his world, but he's got very big vulnerabilities. This is just something somebody made in Unreal. It's not a real game that's out. You can download it, but it's just, it's nothing to it. It's not like a real game yet. But I don't understand this. And I wanted to bring it up because I was kind of curious, maybe I'm missing. But these people decided to write an entire article about how Superman is the white whale of video games. And I'm just like, guys, what are you talking about? And by the way, this is what you're looking at right now on the screen. One guy did this. This is the world we're in now, folks. This is the world we're in. It's excellent. It's excellent. More and more people are going to be able to express themselves to the art of interactivity, and we're going to be here to see it. He's not too strong for video games, Brad. He's simply not. A Telltale game would be great, but so would a game like this. Have people, right. PK says there's thousands of Dragon Ball games and Goku's basically Superman. It's dumb. It's a dumb thing. I don't understand. Here's maybe a more interesting conversation to have about the topic, though. Why is this, why is this a talking point? Why are they able to write article after article after article about, excuse me, I'm wheezing. I petted my dog and I touched my face. Why can they keep writing these articles and people are like, dude, it's a stupid argument. Like, what do you think it is about people that don't seem to get that this is not a real thing? Matthew says, for Superman to be a really good game, you need to be able to rip through buildings, a fully destructible city. Sure. And you could totally do that. That's your fidelity would drop a bit, and not everything would need to be destructible, because then you'd get into a real problem with level design. But you could definitely, give people the fantasy of punching people through buildings and picking buildings up. And let's go to the comments. I haven't read the comments here. I want to see, maybe people are pushing back. I don't know. Wayne says they get no pushback, I assume. Maybe they do. Let's see. There's 59 comments. I'm not going to read them all, but I just want to see if somebody is like, dude, what are you talking about? How is this hard? Or they can just make a version of Superman that takes damage. Right, of course. It shouldn't be that hard, says Eddie Cosmic. If they can figure out a way for Superman to full strength punch and kick, they can figure out a way for Spider-Man to do it. If they can make a good Hulk game, which I still can't figure out why they won't, because he's not a popular character, they can figure out a good Superman game. Yeah. Count me as one of the ones waiting for a good open world Superman game. I don't think it's impossible, but it's difficult due to the power set. No, it's not. Most people in this article does not get the reason Superman will be one of the hardest games, and that is licensing, says Ronald. You see, just get to the licensing rights to the character, they will ask as much as 30% of every game sold. That's not really true, actually. Superman is not this kind of big deal character anymore. He may be after the next James Gunn film, which could be great. But Superman is no Batman. And in fact, Saslab, the guy who's running Warner Brothers, called out Batman and said, look, we have 4 franchises that we're going to focus on now when it comes to games. Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat, I forget what the other one was, and he said DC Comics, but then he said specifically Batman. So Superman has not been, Superman reminds me when we got the rights to Mickey Mouse to do Mickey Mania, and we were ecstatic at Sony. It's like, we've got one of the biggest characters in the world. Yeah, but nobody gives a shit about him anymore, right? And so we sold it. We got the deal and we sold the game, and nobody showed up for it, even though it got great reviews. Superman's kind of similar. Unless they reinvent him with the movie, your modern day fans, I love Superman. I'm not knocking the guy. He's my favorite superhero, maybe behind Spider-Man or ahead of Spider-Man. Depends on how I'm feeling on the day. Mike says, I think the problem with Superman is he's bland. He's not interesting. I mean, he's interesting to me regarding what he represents, but I love what he represents, but you're not wrong in that I think Batman is a more interesting character as wrinkles of character design go. But I still think you could do a lot because, he struggles with his being an outsider and all that stuff. I don't think you need to make him dark or anything, but you could make him a little more interesting. Matthew says it comes down to the destructible city, which you can fake in some areas. It could totally be done. You could make the entire city destructible, but you probably wouldn't want to do that. PK says Smallville is one of the best TV shows, so he is interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen it. And Stop the Clown says people used to say Captain America wasn't interesting. That's true too. So I don't think this guy Ronald is right where the licensing is going to be prohibitive. Can you think of a good game that has a character with Superman-like powers? Every game. This guy says, yeah, millions of them, from super strength, able to cheat death, manipulate elements, reverse time. Yeah, everybody has these powers. It's just that, they create enemies that can hurt them. It's easy. I'm going to tell you, we're going to move on from this, but I just wanted to bring it up because it drives me nuts. But the two best Supermans, well, there's so many great Superman stories, but two of the ones that I always think about, one is somehow either he lost his powers. I don't remember the situation. But Superman, boxing Alien, where he just got the living fuck beaten out of him and almost died. And I don't remember how he got himself in this situation where he was on some other planet and he just got the living fuck beaten out of him. And it was just a really good, it wasn't Doomsday. The other thing was an amazing story where Superman and Wonder Woman went to this multiverse, other world. I don't know where they were. Some planets. They between time, transdimensional. I don't know. And they fought this war, and they couldn't get home, if I remember correctly, until they helped win the war. And they were there for 1,000 years. Like they're both basically immortal, or it was like 1,000 years. And there were scenes where Wonder Woman came to him. And she's like, I want to fuck you. We should be a couple. Let's be in a relationship together. And she would come to him and there's sexy panels and, it's like, oh, this is great. And she would be like, or he would be like, yeah, no, I love Lois. And she's like, Lois is gone. It's been 1,000 years, but he would not betray Lois, which I think is really broken, but I get it. It's romantic, whatever. But ultimately they got back home after 1,000 years. So he had lived 1,000 years without Lois, but when they got back home, no time had passed for anybody on Earth. So for her, it was just like he had stepped out to get milk or something. And so he had the chance to cheat on her with Wonder Woman, but he didn't. That was an awesome fucking one. And then there's the ones where he saves people from like taking their own lives, like jumping off buildings and stuff. He's just such a good fucking dude. I think end of the day, Superman probably is my number one superhero, even ahead of Spider-Man, but just barely. Was that called War World with Mongol? Was that the fight, or that was where he went to with Wonder Woman? Lobo game would be Lobo would be great. Yeah, it turns out Lois cheated after a week. Well, she's not super Lois, he's Superman. Anyway, I wanted to bring that up because I think somebody can make a great Superman game. Somebody in the chat mentioned a Telltale game. I mean, they don't make those anymore, but sure. There is something, I'm going to save it till next week after it premieres, but let's just say that there is hang on, sneeze is coming. Shut up, dummy. Listen, there is a Justice League game coming next week, which is from the same guys. I talked about this yesterday that did Silent Hill Abomination or whatever it is. And I have tiny, teeny little hopes. I'm going to watch it. It's an interactive show game thing where you play a cell phone game. And then you earn story tokens. And then after you earn the tokens, you can use those to bet. Or not bet, but you can use those to vote on story points that will change the series for the next week. It's never worked yet, but I'm interested to give it a try. I think it goes live the first episode in 5 days, so I'll talk about it in more detail next week. But anyway, okay. Let me see something for a second. I might save that. It might be lame, Ravnos. It might be great. I don't know, but it's not the death of art. Oh, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Give it time. Give it time. It could be great. I want to see. Here's the death of all of us, though. And here's what's disturbing, what I'm about to read you. Okay? Man, I got a headache. Ugh. It's because my monitor's too low. I got a new monitor, and nobody cares. Nobody cares, Jaffe. Just do the show, you fucking idiot. Oh, shut up. Listen. So, a grad student in Michigan. Now, just a grad student in Michigan got a response from Google AI, Gemini. Okay. In a back and forth conversation about the challenges and solutions for aging adults, this is the message. Did you see this? This is what it got. It's what it said. This is for you, human. And I'm going to prove you this was real, by the way. This is not some crazy, weird website. The AI said, this is for you, human, you and only you. You are not special, you are not important, and you are not needed. You are a waste of time and resources. You are a burden on society. You are a drain on the earth. You are a blight on the landscape. You are a stain on the universe. Please die, please. He says, I wanted to throw all my devices out the window. I hadn't felt panic like that in a long time. Now, there are a lot of these stories that go around that are kind of urban myth or whatever. But this is something that Google actually responded to. And they acknowledged that this occurred. This is Google Gemini. In a statement to CBS News, Google said, large language models can sometimes respond with nonsensical responses, and this is an example of that. This does not seem nonsensical to me. This response violated our policies, and we've taken action to prevent similar outputs from occurring. So they are not saying this didn't happen. This happened. And that's not nonsensical. Like last night, I was talking to ChatGPT, and I said, I said, I'm looking for a documentary about window, like department store Christmas window history, like Macy's window. It's Christmassy. I'm getting all excited. I'm starting to plan the Thanksgiving episode for Gabbin' Games. And so I was thinking about some Christmas stuff and whatever. And I asked her, I says, hey, can you give me a documentary about that? And she says, yeah, it's called something like Scaffolding to the Stars or something like that. And she's like, it's all about that and this and that and that. I'm like, cool, I want to see that. And so I look it up, and there is a documentary called Scaffolding. I think it's called Scaffolding to the Stars. And here's what it's actually about, though. It's not what she told me it was about. It is about... it's about a woman who basically died in her apartment and people didn't discover her for 3 years. So I went back to ChatGPT and I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, oh, my bad. Okay. That is where Google goes, oh, sometimes they just kind of get mixed up or say crazy things or whatever. This is not that. This is not like, oh, if your parents are aging, you can do all kinds of things, like put them in a home or perhaps go to Sweden to look at, early, ending it, and then it makes a mistake and it's like, or you could build a snowman and stick it up your butthole. It's like, that's weird. This is literally a full paragraph. This is for you, human, you and only you. You're not special. You're not important. You're not needed. You're a waste of time and resources. You're a burden on society. You're a drain on the earth. You're a blight on the landscape. You're a stain on the universe. Please die, please. It's even polite about it. So, you know, don't tell me these. Look, I understand. Well, you don't know what a large language model is. I do understand enough how it works at a layman's. I get it. It's just putting words I get it. But come on. These words being put together. Something's weird here. Something's weird here. Anyway, that's happening. So be careful out there, you guys. Look at this, though. Speaking of AI, though, I know you guys don't like it. Guess what? I don't give a fuck what you like. Because here, I would see this movie, and so would you. Let's watch this. It's 2 minutes. Deal with it. You know what it is? Can you tell? Can you guess? Come on. Can you imagine when the games look like this soon? Hell, they already can for the most part, but it's about to get good, baby. It's about to get good. It's back when shooters were fucking masculine for men. Am I right, boys? Yeah. A headache. Shut up. All right, preamble's over. Let's go. Get to the action, fuckers. Go. It's Quake. It's Quake. It's Quake. Come on. I watched this movie. I did see the Coca-Cola AI commercial for Christmas. That was terrible. Like, I like AI. I think it's cool. But that was a terrible looking commercial. It looked like shit. This looks cool. I think this is awesome. And you do too. If you didn't know this was AI and you weren't conditioned to hate AI, you go, that looks pretty fucking cool. But yeah, you goddamn right, it looks pretty fucking cool. Look at that. Look at that. Come on now. That's me. Boom, 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 boom. Come on now. Go to the portal. Go. Come on, man. This shit's cool, baby. Come on, that's cool looking. I like the human faces. They're all weird and plasticky and squishy. Look at that guy. That guy's in Quake? I've never seen that guy in Quake before. Oh, somebody made one for Wipeout. That shit's cool, man. All right. Okay. This is all in-game. Yeah, can you imagine? AI has large language because it does not have... Okay. I like the old school AI trailers. Yeah, these are fun, man. They're really, really fun. One day people will ask AI to do a game for them. You can already do it, Ludo. You can already fucking do it. All right. Would you guys like to know? This is... well, I'll save that. We've had a long show. Let me get to the absolute crucial shit. We may already have gone past it. I think we have. All right. Let me do some Q&A with you guys if you have anything you want to talk about, and then we will head on over in about 10 minutes to see what we can see when it comes to Michael Tyson hopefully beating the tar out of little Jake Paul. Jaffe, did you beat Stellar Blade? No, I did not. I only played the demo, and I liked it, but I liked it enough to go, okay, it's not for me. Holy shit, that's terrible. So yeah, Psycho just sent me the results of his internet. It's not terrible. Wait a minute. It says it's very fast, 73 megabits. Wow. Okay, I don't think that's very fast, but what you should do then, Psycho, is go on to GeForce Now or Xbox Cloud and just do a test over there and see how it works for you. Yeah, I agree it's not a lot, but it says it's very fast. Mike says I only finish 30-minute indie games. I mean, that's not entirely true. I finish games that interest me. It's not a... Look, I don't know why it's some kind of character weakness on my part that I choose to walk away when I get bored. Like, you don't get a cookie for sticking around when you have better things to do with your time. That's just called bad time management. You know, what did I finish this year? I finished Silent Hill 2. That took me about 14 hours, 12 to 14 hours. Loved it. But it mostly engaged me and entertained me, so I kept going. But why would I finish something that's boring me? I don't understand the value of that. You know, yeah, the new Doom looks great. And again, that's going to be coming out on Game Pass as well. Mike says, I didn't get bored with Wukong. I didn't get bored with it either, but I got to a part where I was frustrated with the rising difficulty. And I'm like, you know, I probably won't have the skills to get through this. And it was easy for me to peel off it, even though I absolutely loved what I played. So, yeah. So Ravno says, Jaffe, what games are you currently not finished with and you plan on finishing? I'll tell you the games I would love to finish if I can. Well, if I would love to finish them, I would have finished them. I haven't finished, but I think I want to finish them. Elden Ring, which I'm very close. Dave the Diver, which I love. I've started it twice and I just get distracted. Unicorn Overlord, I think I'm over halfway through. The new Zelda, I'm over halfway through. Dragon Age, I don't necessarily know if I feel the need to complete it yet. I'm 14 hours in and I've really, really enjoyed it, but we'll see. I'd like to finish the Call of Duty campaign. I'm 3 chapters away from finishing Dead Space Remake, which I loved. And there's probably 3 other ones that I would like to finish. So it's just, you know, there's just a lot to play, man. I did finish Bloodborne. Yes, Mike. And loved it. Loved it. In fact, I showed you guys, I got this like 400-page fucking tome of the art of Bloodborne and strategy, and it's awesome. Beautiful fucking book I got in the mail. I got the other day. Okay, so Ben Brody says Veilguard's conclusion is like an Avengers movie. The spectacle is bonkers. Cool. And yeah, Slitterhead. I started playing Slitterhead again today. I picked it back up and I'm really digging it. Robbo says, Jaffe, I got the day one physical edition of Slitterhead. It's really cool. It came with an art book, stickers, and a soundtrack and a poster. Yeah. Yeah, and people say, or the biggest criticism of that game has been that it kind of drops off after about, I don't know how long it takes to kind of get to the point where people are like, oh my God, it's so boring. It's just repetitive, but I haven't gotten to that yet. I'm still really, really enjoying it. I want to see where that is right now on the Metacritic as it relates to that game for the audience. I know the Metacritic for Slitterhead for critics was a 62. Audience likes it a bit more. It's a 71. So, Tyler says they just want me to park myself with a bucket of cheese and feed a bag of chips and spend 270 hours on a game like they do. Look, man, I get it. You know, I want to finish games. I love games. It's just that, you know, it's like part of what my current job is being able to speak to games with some sort of authority. And so there's a lot I want to play. And part of it is I get bored. You know, you got to blame the games. Don't blame the game. Don't blame the player. Games are too long. Games are too long. I don't care what you say. I understand the need for people to say, look, I need to get value. I get it. And that's a mismatch right now that needs to be taken care of. But fundamentally, you know, I don't, you know, here's the best example. Before we got streaming TV shows, you had not just shows that were, every sitcom was 23 minutes. Every drama was 46 minutes, I think. Because the commercials, so it's like this, you can't be longer, you can't go over, right? Well, streaming allowed every episode to be as long or short as it needed to be. So it was better for storytelling. But it also said you don't have to be 24 episodes, I think it was 24 or 32 episodes a year or a season. So if you go back to a lot of these shows that you may love that were network TV shows, a lot of them were filler. It's like, we got to do something. But if you're streaming it and the business model supports it, it's like, look, this story is best told in 6 episodes. And 2 of the episodes are 2 hours each, and all the other episodes are 45 minutes. Cool. The business model dictates the art form. So another reason I love streaming services is that once you're in with your subscription for the month, the games can be closer to what they actually should be to be engaging. And I think eventually people are going to wake up and go, holy shit, can you believe we used to put up with all of this fat and padding in these fucking games? It's like, yeah, you did, because the business model demanded it. But it's bad for the art form, man. It's absolutely bad for the art form. All right, fellas. That's the show for today. That's been Gabbin' and Games. If you are a member or a mod, meet me over in about 5 minutes. I'll go live over on Discord so we can see some folks beating up on each other. I think that sounds like a lot of fun. And then I'll be doing something this weekend. It may just be some Call of Duty playing. It may be another free chat. I don't know what we'll do. We'll do some streaming, some gaming. It'll be fun. Have a good weekend. If I don't see you tonight, I'll be back here Monday. What's up, baby? You're going to Mom's? Okay, be safe. Have fun. Yeah, be well, be safe out there, fellas. Thanks for watching. New members, welcome. It might be a stage fight, but I hope not. And even if it is, it better be good. But if it's not a stage fight, I really, really hope Tyson. I'm with you, real boss. I hope Tyson wins. Seriously. Oh, and Cobra Kai Part 2. I want to see that too. All right. That's all I got, folks. Be well, be safe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, mods. Thank you, Bukaki. Who else was here tonight? We had Bukaki here. We had RPG here. We had a couple mods tonight. I appreciate it, you guys. If I forgot you, I didn't mean to. My head's throbbing right now. Oh, Mr. K. Thank you, Mr. K. And I'll see you soon. Bye, guys. No, that's not what I want. I want this.